Hello, hello, hello there! Hey everybody! Welcome! Happy Friday! Hi Elegenta! Hi Wizard Dizzard! Hi Moritz! Hi Dipsidian! Hi Radio! Hey! How's it going? How's it hanging? How's it dangling? Ding-a-long, ding-a-ling-long! Hi Ferdinand Lily! Welcome! Hi Nimby! Good morning. Well, it's not morning for me, it's evening, but good morning to you. Today we're doing a reaction stream! Not because the setup is shit and it cannot run any games, no. No, because reaction streams are also part of what streamers do, okay? Lots of streamers do that. And I am a streamer, so of course I'm gonna do it too, huh? How was work? Did you show them? I showed them, I guess. Work was fine. It was okay. I'm a bit tired, but yeah, it was okay. Happy Loud House Friday! Happy Loud House Friday, whatever that is. Happy that!
It's a show.
Oh, I don't know the show.
Loud House.
I don't know it. I'm Monster Kitty. Thank you for joining. Welcome. So today we are reacting to a scary video. Well, scary, unsettling, creepy maybe. It's a video about water, the sea, the ocean. I don't know. Okay, I was actually I didn't know what to react to. Okay, I wanted something a bit Halloweenish, so a bit creepy, but something that's on YouTube, something that's longer. And this video is hella long. It's maybe even too long, so I don't know if we're gonna watch the whole thing. But it's about the some scary aspects of the sea, I think. And hey, I already said hi to Radio. I already talked to Radio.
I talk to Radio because Radio talked to me.
Oh.
Not everything's about you.
No, it is though. It is. This is kind of like my show. I mean, not to be rude or anything, but can you not greet each other like privately? That's kind of inappropriate. So, hi Marjun! Thank you for joining! Welcome! Welcome to the deep sea ocean. It may be too dark down at the bottom ground, but we'll make it there safely. Trust me. No, after watching this video, you might not be so sure about that. Apparently there's a lot of scary shit down in the ocean. And we're gonna find out together what there is, what lies there. Should we go? Should we not? What the fuck? Hey! Thank you for the follow! Pack of wolf. No, wait. It's there. Thank you! Yo, no entiendo nada. I don't understand anything. Me neither. That's kind of how I live life. What are you doing?
Your mouth is twitching when I'm not lighting your face.
Can you not light that thing?
I can.
He's literally flashing a flashlight in my face. What is wrong with him? I take this as prevention for potential Subnautica stream. Subnautica. What was that again?
You will see.
I will see? No, I decide if I will see. You tell me what it is and then maybe.
Don't worry about it.
Hi, Artus Lotcall. Thank you for joining. Welcome. I'm uncomfortable. Why is that? Maybe you need to take a shit. Sometimes that helps. That helps sometimes. So yeah, guys. We're gonna investigate the ocean today. You will hold my hand and I will hold yours. And if it gets too scary, I will let go of your hand and you will drown by yourself. Is that a deal? Can you refuse that deal? I don't think you can. Hi, Candy Bush! Thank you for joining. You dropped me into a rabbit hole of watching fucked up creepy stories on YouTube. I don't need this in my life, but here we are. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drop you there. But it's kind of funny that I happened to do that. That's cool. Hi, Anescu! Thank you for joining! Welcome! Are you gonna find Atlantis and where the shark girls live? There are shark girls? I've heard of mermaids, but shark girls? Maybe this video will be, exciting. I didn't know about the shark girls, but here we are. Aw, dang, well I haven't dipped my toe back to creepy stuff on YouTube yet. Is that like a whole niche? I know about creepypasta, but I'm apparently too old. Like, I know about creepypasta, but there's more? There's more. Huh. Hi, Moneybags. Thank you for joining. Is beautiful, your voice. thank you, Inescu. That's really sweet. Thank you. I appreciate. Watchalong. What the hell is that? It means you watch along. Akshat Place, and thank you for joining. I'm pretty sure that's what's the meaning of Watchalong. Yeah. There's a whole lot more. Interesting. Okay, I mean, I wanted to do more reaction streams anyway. So this might be a good chance for me to dip my toes into the unknown sea. Tangu! It's time! Oh, radio! We're going to the convention, but only on the last day, on Sunday. Tangu said one day is enough. So, let's go. Now. Okay. Now. Oh, now. Ah, there we go. There we fucking go. You're gonna see the eel shark. Eel shark? I don't think that's a thing. Girl, I was asking what is that game? Not disrespect, because I don't want to get banned. I like your pussy attitude. Yes, be afraid of me. I don't know about that game. I've never heard of that.
Oh, god damn it, I just...
What the fuck did you do? Where are the comments? Hi, Martin!
And here we are again, and now we are like this, and...
Is it working? I'm gonna play Little Nightmares next week. I wanted to play it today because it came out today, right?
Fuck.
But, yeah, bad setup. And I don't want to ruin the game, so, yeah. You're coming as well? You know it's a reunion of big nerds, right? Well, if Tangu's driving and paying for the gas, and I'm here anyway, I might as well come, right? Also, it's a board game convention, and that sounds fun. Maybe they have some cool card games. Hi, Altaika! Thank you for joining. What is going on, Tangu?
This piece of shit over here is cutting into the screen. Pisses me off. Like...
No. Okay. Oh, you met the puppy, Patricia! Thank you for joining. What kind of puppy is it? What race? Puppy race? No, wait, there's a better name for that. It's race. Is it race? Do you say puppy race?
Breed.
Breed. Okay, I thought that was wrong. Breed. Now, wait, Tangu's bringing her to a board game convention. Incredible, amazing work, Tangu. Hey, I decided this for myself. Okay, I happened to be free that day. Also, well, there are no non-nerdy board games and cute ones too. So, Gories! Hello, Gories. Thank you for joining. Welcome. I dare you to voice act as Tanjiro and then Zenitsu. I won't do it. Those are both men. How the fuck am I supposed to do that? I'm quite okay with voices, but I cannot just, I cannot just turn male voice. That's not how this works. I'm sorry. But thank you for joining. Jar Jar! You prime subbed! Thank you so much for joining. Welcome. And Warhammer. Yeah, there's Warhammer too. Wow, amazing. In Japan, I saw some figurines that I liked, Radio. What were they called? They were little teddy bears. What were they called?
Something studio thing.
Wow, Tangu, thank you.
I think I took a photo, I can check.
It was like little bears that you can draw on, just like Warhammer figurines. But little bears. Like super cute. Hi, Albert! Thank you for joining! Welcome! Did you guys watch the new Demon Slayer movie? Oh, good shit. But honestly, I'm about to start reading the manga. Because I don't think I will wait 2 more years for the next movie. I just don't think I can do it. For real. We were supposed to be there only Saturday, but if you're there, I'll stay Sunday as well. Are you sure, Radio? I don't know how much is there on this convention? Like, is 2 days worth it? But hey, cool. If you're also there the day we are. Nice. Good day, Diaz! Good day to you too! I'll be mostly watching in silence. Enjoy. By the way, I love the vlogs. I learned a thing or two about Diaz. Aww. That makes me happy. Well, Tengu. Okay. That makes me really happy. I love it if you guys watch the vlogs. We put a lot of love into it. Mm-hmm. You liked the movie Wizard Lizard? It was cool, wasn't it? The movie was real good. It was a lot of backstory, but good backstory. And I'm super tempted too. I think I'll start the manga anytime soon. Just finished Japanese class. Nice, Jar Jar. Welcome, welcome then. You are worth it. Oh, radio. This will be a nerd convention. I will probably be like maybe with my headphones and like, you know, just judging everyone. Like, I don't want to ruin it for you. I'm already ruining it for Tango. It's kind of like one of the fun things about joining him. I'll be like, you like that? You like that? I love that. It's really fun. Bye-bye! Better remember why you gotta play Claire in Resident Evil 2. Yeah, I know. I appreciate Claire more now, okay? Is that what you wanted to hear? I appreciate her more. Claire's a good girl. Good, so hopefully I will be able to watch it, but for now have a nice gameplay of this game too. Thank you, Martin, but we're just reacting to this video. There's no gameplay today. Well, I'm gonna judge it heavily, and that's a game for me, judging. But not real gameplay, no. Hollywood is pissed because DS movie did better than any other movie they brought out. Yes. Demon Slayer. Oh, it did really well, didn't it? I heard of it. But I mean, that's nothing new. Demon Slayer like broke all the records when it came out. Don't want to spoil, but the main bad guy of the movie is like my favorite character now. Yes, man. Husbando. I want to marry Akaza. Can I marry Akaza? Huh? No. I only get shit. I hate it here. Like me inside Pop Mart? Yes, Radio. That will be me inside the nerd convention. I'll just be there, but not really. So guys, are you ready to react to this? Let me get comfortable. You get comfortable too, okay? Whew. The quality's kind of shitty though, isn't it? We want the best fucking quality there is. Aw, you love me? Well, get in line. No, I'm kidding. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So, are you guys ready to find out more about the scary ocean? I don't know if I'm ready. Let's do this.
The ocean is as mysterious as it is endless. Beneath its
Thank you for the
waves
follow!
lie stories that defy explanation. True stories that will leave you questioning what we really know about the deep. Like underwater ruins, so precise they couldn't possibly be natural. Ships that vanished without a trace, leaving behind nothing, not even a whisper of what happened. And the deepest blue hole in the ocean, a place so dark and uncharted, we've barely begun to scratch the surface of what's down there. These aren't legends or myths. They're all real, and they're all unsolved. So get comfortable, grab a snack, and join me as we dive into the unknown. The deeper we go, the stranger it gets.
Ah. I don't know, man. Maybe that was not that smart. I kind of like swimming in the summer, so maybe this will freak me out a bit. I didn't thought of it. Let's get married and travel the world, babe. Where would you take me? I've already been to many places, so it's hard to impress me. Hit it. And I'll think about it. 4 hours? Yes, that's what I said, guys. This video is hella long. I don't think we will watch all of it. But, we will see how far we can go. Since it's a reaction stream, I'm, like, really comfortable right now. Budapest, bitch! What the fuck? Wait, where's Budapest? Where is Budapest? Where? What the fuck is that? Where's Budapest? In Africa? No, you're lying. Is it in Africa? It's not in Africa. Well, it sounds weird. I don't want to go to Budapest. Take me somewhere else. No, it sucks. I hate it. In Hungary! Ugaria! And it's so pretty during the winter. During the winter, you will take me to Hawaii. I don't want to be anywhere cold. No. No, thank you. I'm good. We would be here for like 10 to 12 hours with how often you pause. Hey, this is a reaction stream. I'm reacting, okay? Did you notice that wearing these suits underwater always make you look goofy? Like, I kind of wish I could go down there and pretend I'm a mermaid, but with all these goggles and stuff, you look kind of like Pink Guy. It's not a good look. Okay, let's just continue.
Let's get started. Our stories today begin in
Look, he looks ridiculous. Okay, I'm sorry.
1986, when a local diver exploring off the coast of Japan came across something he couldn't explain: massive stone structures lying silently on the ocean floor. At first, it looked like the ruins of an ancient civilization, but experts disagreed. Were they natural formations shaped by the sea, or evidence of a lost chapter in human history? This is the story of the Yonaguni Monument, one of the most fascinating underwater mysteries ever discovered.
Yonaguni.
The story of the Yonaguni Monument begins in a place as serene as it is remote. The waters off Yonaguni Island, part of Japan's Okinawa Prefecture.
Oh, in Okinawa!
Yonaguni is the kind of place where the modern world feels far away. Surrounded by turquoise waters and rugged cliffs, it's the last inhabited island of Japan before you hit Taiwan. A place where the pace of life slows down and the ocean stretches endlessly into the horizon. But beneath the surface of these tranquil waters lies a mystery that has baffled scientists and explorers for decades. It all started in 1986. Kihachiro Aratake, a local dive tour operator, was on the lookout for new underwater spots to attract tourists. Yonaguni's crystal clear waters and vibrant coral reefs were already a diver's paradise, but Aratake wanted to find something unique, something that would set Yonaguni apart. One afternoon, while diving along the southern coast of the island, something caught his eye. At first, it was just a shadow, a darker patch on the seafloor. Intrigued, he swam closer, and as he descended, the shadow grew larger, much larger. What he saw next stopped him in his tracks.
What was it?
Rising from the seabed was a structure unlike anything he had ever seen before. Massive, angular, and eerily symmetrical, it looked more like the ruins of an ancient city than a natural rock formation. Before we continue with this story, a quick note. The visuals in today's video are a bit more sparse than usual. This story, and the others we'll explore, took a great deal of time to research, edit, and record. So, feel free to treat this as a background companion while you work, go about your day, or simply sit back and let your mind wander through these incredible mysteries.
He has an incredible voice, right? I feel like falling asleep now. If I were a fish, what kind of fish would I be? Dude, I don't know about fish. I think I know like 2 fish types. I know salmon, Spencer, and clownfish. So I would go with clownfish. Actually, I identify as a clownfish. An electric eel. But they look kind of nasty, don't they? Yeah, that's a daddy voice. I wouldn't call it daddy voice. I think he has like a really poetic voice. Spencer! But he has a really beautiful voice and a nice way of reading it out. I'm happy that this video is not AI. I hate AI voice.
The visuals will add context, but they're not essential to enjoy the journey.
We want the visual!
Thanks for being here. And now, back to the story. As Kimura explored further, he noticed features that seemed deliberately crafted. There were what appeared to be wide stairs leading to elevated platforms, corridors carved into the rock, and even holes that resembled doorways or windows. One section of the structure, known as the turtle, looked like a giant sculpture of a sea turtle resting on a pedestal. Kimura became convinced that these features were man-made, created by a civilization that predated recorded history. But here's the thing. The structure was submerged under 100 feet of water. For it to have been above sea level, Kimura estimated it would have to date back at least 10,000 years to a time when sea levels were significantly lower due to Ice Age glaciation.
10,000 years. We're in year 2025. 10,000. That's like a lot of time ago. Weren't people monkeys back then? How did they build that? That's crazy. I mean, honestly, I'm not that surprised that they're like buildings in the water, but that they're that old. That's impressive. I didn't know monkeys could build like that.
If true, this would make the Yonaguni Monument one of the oldest human-made structures on Earth, potentially rewriting the timeline of human civilization.
Crazy.
Kimura spent years studying the site, and with every dive, he found more evidence to support his theory. He discovered what looked like stone tools embedded in the seabed near the monument, suggesting that humans had worked on the structure. He even claimed to find carvings, symbols etched into the rock that could be remnants of an ancient script. For Kimura, the monument wasn't just a fluke of nature. It was proof of an advanced culture that thrived long before the civilizations we know today.
Could you, Jar
But
Jar?
not everyone agreed.
You're
As
saying
news of
even
the
a monkey
Yonaguni
could then?
monument spread, skeptics began to weigh in. Many geologists argued that the structure could be explained by natural processes. Sandstone, the primary material at Yonaguni, is known to fracture in straight lines when exposed to certain types of erosion. Underwater currents, combined with the natural movement of tectonic plates, could have created the terraces and sharp angles that made the monument so striking. Robert Schoch, a geologist from Boston University, was one of the most vocal critics. Schoch traveled to Yonaguni and dived at the site, but he wasn't convinced. While he admitted that some features were unusual, he argued that the majority of the structure could be explained by natural weathering. In Schoch's view, there wasn't enough evidence to conclude that humans had shaped the monument.
What? This is clearly human shaped. I have never seen a stone like that. I'm kind of confused that they're arguing about it so much. This is clearly man-made, right? Or monkey-made, depending on the time it was made. Orcas are awesome. There are two orca brothers who hunt sharks together. That sounds cool, but I have to say I don't like orcas because, I don't like them. I respect them. I fear them. I heard about like orcas in some SeaWorld thingies that killed. There's like one orca that was really famous, and in every SeaWorld attraction they put him in, it killed a person, right? What was the name of it? I watched like a documentary of it and it was really scary. I did not like that. Hi, thank you for joining. Welcome. The pig kind of looks AI. Well, I don't think this is AI. This is supposed to be what they found down there, right? Right.
The debate over Yonaguni quickly became polarizing. On one side, Kimura and his supporters argued that the precision and complexity of the structure were too intentional to be natural. On the other side, skeptics insisted that without definitive artifacts, like pottery or tools, the monument couldn't be conclusively linked to human activity.
Show us some more
Both
pictures so
sides
we can
presented
decide.
compelling arguments, and the mystery of Yonaguni only deepened. For divers, the monument became a bucket list destination, a place where you could witness the intersection of history
Hi,
and
Pog
nature.
Pog.
Swimming through the underwater labyrinth surrounded by schools of fish and the eerie silence of the deep, you couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. Whether it's a relic of a forgotten civilization or a masterpiece of natural geology.
Okay, now I'm thinking though, because yes, these are stairs. They have to be human-made. But what human would be so dumb to make like these little stairs? So what kind of like staircase is that? You go up there, and then you go up there, and then you go there. On the other hand, there were monkeys 2,000 years ago. Maybe they didn't think it through. Or it was like a thing about aesthetic, like it looked cooler. What do you guys think? Now that this doesn't look that human-made. It kind of looks rushed. It's kind of ugly.
The Yonaguni Monument continues to captivate and confound everyone who visits it.
I don't think Tin is here, Jar
The
Jar.
Yonaguni Monument became a lightning rod for debate among scientists, historians, and explorers.
And us.
On
We're
one side
debating
were
it
those
too
like
now.
Masaki Kimura, who firmly believed that the monument was evidence of a lost civilization, a relic from a time so ancient it defied traditional timelines of human development. On the other side were skeptics, primarily geologists, who saw the structure as a remarkable but ultimately natural formation shaped by erosion and the relentless forces of the ocean. Kimura's theory was bold.
Okay, this looks human-made. I don't give a fuck. Like, again, I don't really get it. What the person was thinking, the monkey. But this is clearly not made by the ocean. That's not how it works. If this is a legit picture, which I think it is, this is human-made, right? This is man-made. Monkey-made. I could build this in Minecraft.
He argued that the monument wasn't just a singular structure, but part of a much larger complex. One that included roads, smaller buildings, and even what he believed were ceremonial features like a stone altar. According to Kimura, the Yonaguni monument could date back as far as 10,000 years, potentially even older than the pyramids of Egypt or Stonehenge. This theory was tantalizing. If true, it would suggest that an advanced culture existed in this part of the world at a time when most human societies were thought to be simple hunter-gatherers. Kimura wasn't without evidence. Over the years, he claimed to have found stone tools and what he believed were carvings near the monument, including symbols etched into the rock.
Show us!
He even suggested that some features of the monument, like the turtle formation, were sculptural, deliberately carved to resemble animals or symbols important to the builders. To Kimura, these findings pointed to a human touch, evidence that the structure wasn't merely a quirk of nature.
Hi in India!
But skeptics
Thank you for
pushed back hard.
joining!
Robert Schoch, a well-known geologist from Boston University, became one of the most vocal opponents of the man-made theory. After diving at Yonaguni, Schoch concluded that the monument's features could be explained by natural geological processes.
Really?
Sandstone, the material that makes up the Yonaguni monument, is prone to fracturing in straight lines, especially when subjected to tectonic activity and strong underwater currents. Over time, these forces could create flat terraces, sharp edges, and even steps that looked intentional, but were entirely natural.
I mean, this is hard. Some pictures I was like, yeah, okay, that could be ocean-made, right? But the other picture, like 2 pictures ago, that looked just too symmetrical, right? I mean, this, for example, especially if this is a type of stone that kind of like cuts in straight lines, I could believe that this is, this just happened to be. Like the other thing, it just looked too, I don't know. How's that monument called? You just said it. Nobunaga, some Nagasaki. I don't know. It's some Japanese name.
Schoch wasn't alone in his skepticism.
Nunagagi. No.
Many
Yamaguni.
geologists
There
pointed
it
out
is.
that there were similar formations
How do you
around
know
the
in
world
India?
that had
You
been
just
created
joined.
by nature.
You're crazy.
The Giant's Causeway in Ireland, for example, is a series of perfectly
Hi, thank you
hexagonal
for
basalt
joining.
columns formed by volcanic activity, while the Bimini Road in the Bahamas, a series of rectangular limestone blocks, was initially thought to be a man-made road, but later attributed to natural erosion. One of the biggest sticking points for skeptics was the lack of definitive artifacts. For a site to be considered man-made, there needs to be clear evidence of human activity.
But artifacts, first of all, they probably get destroyed faster. And like it's been 10,000 years, right? Also, they're not so heavy, so the water might, take them away, right? I don't know if... Like, how would you expect a vase to stay there perfectly fine? It would break, right? But a building, that's different.
Like pottery, tools, or other cultural artifacts.
I guess tools made out
While
of metal.
Kimura claimed to have found stone tools
Hi.
near the monument, critics argued that these could have been washed into the area by ocean currents and didn't necessarily prove that humans had worked on the structure. The debate wasn't just about Yonaguni. It was about how we interpret evidence of ancient civilizations. Kimura and his supporters saw the monument as a chance to challenge conventional timelines, to explore the possibility that advanced societies existed much earlier than we thought. Skeptics, on the other hand, warned against jumping to conclusions without concrete evidence. To them, the Yonaguni monument was a fascinating natural formation, but nothing more. If the Yonaguni monument is man-made, it raises a tantalizing question. Who built it?
I did. No, for real, I'm thinking now. Is this... I mean, do you see the stairs on the side kind of leading up? This looks man-made again, I feel like. Do you remember one of the pictures in the slideshow is fake and is just a cigarette edited to be underwater? What? How do you know in India? Have you watched this before? Hi, Screwy! Hi, glad this is a lurk-friendly stream today. I got some work to catch up with. Nice. Yes, lurk-friendly indeed. I'm lurking too. I'm just lurking with you guys. Hi! Welcome. I need tools. I got tools, not those tools.
And why? Kimura speculated that it might be connected to the lost continent of Mu, a mythical landmass said to have sunk beneath the Pacific Ocean.
Of Mu? Okay, I have to stop stopping all the time, but they called it Mu? Really? Yes, I am a lurker. I'm lurking with you right now, am I not? Hi. Yonaguni Monument. Yes, you know of it. Why do you guys know of that shit? I had never heard of this in my life before watching this right now.
Thousands of years ago. While there's no scientific evidence to support the existence of Mu, the idea of a sunken civilization resonates with legends from around the world, from Atlantis in the west to Lemuria in the east. Kimura's theory suggested that Yonaguni could have been a center of culture and religion for an ancient people, a place where rituals were performed and knowledge was passed down. The monument's stepped design and terrace-like features reminded him of ziggurats and pyramids found in other ancient...
Ziggurats, not cigarettes. I thought you said cigarette in India, not ziggurat. I don't know what a ziggurat is. Mu is the eastern equivalent of Atlantis. Oh, they have their own Atlantis. What? Aztec. From the Atlantis movie with the hot chick and the big thick thighs. Both is good. Yeah, the movie. I remember the movie. The pyramids of the Aztecs are cigarettes. Aztec are cigarettes. I don't really give a fuck. Let's just continue.
Ancient cultures. If true, it could mean that humanity's story is far older and more complex than we currently understand.
Hi, Leo!
But skeptics pointed out a major flaw in this theory. There's no direct link between Yonaguni and any known civilization. Unlike sites like Machu Picchu or the Great Pyramid of Giza, which are surrounded by cultural artifacts and written records, the Yonaguni monument exists in isolation. No tools, no pottery, no ruins of nearby villages, nothing definitively ties it to human hands. There's also the question of its age. Kimura estimated that the monument could be over 10,000 years old, based on how long it would have taken for rising sea levels to submerge it. But skeptics argue that dating a site based on sea level changes is tricky at best. Without physical evidence, like carbon-dated artifacts, it's impossible to determine the monument's age with certainty. Despite the lack of consensus, Yonaguni continues to capture the imagination of people around the world. It's not just a question of geology or archaeology, it's a question of what we're willing to believe. The idea of a lost civilization, one that built monumental structures only to be swallowed by the sea, is undeniably compelling. It taps into our fascination with the unknown, our desire to uncover secrets hidden beneath the surface.
I know you guys are tired of me, okay? But can I just say one more time? How come that they haven't made underwater equipment look good yet? Like, maybe that should be my business idea. Making that suit and these frosh feet, but making them look kind of, I don't know, elegant or something. Or cool, or I don't know. Okay, that was just my brain fart.
Even if the monument is natural, it's a masterpiece of nature, a reminder of how powerful and creative the forces of the earth can be. The straight lines, the terraces, the sharp angles. These features may be the result of erosion and tectonic activity, but they look deliberate,
yes.
Almost like a work of art. Standing on the seafloor, surrounded by the monument's imposing walls and platforms, It's easy to see why so many divers have been captivated by its mystery. In the end, the Yonaguni Monument remains an enigma. Is it a forgotten relic of an ancient world, a testament to human ingenuity lost to time?
Or just
Or
some
is it a
stones.
natural wonder, shaped by the ocean's relentless hand over millennia?
Who
The answer,
knows?
for now, lies somewhere beneath the waves, waiting to be discovered. The mystery of the Yonaguni Monument leaves us with more questions than answers. Is it the work of an ancient civilization, or simply nature's masterpiece? Either way, it's a story that reminds us how much of our world remains unexplored, how many secrets still lie beneath the surface. What do you think, man-made or natural? Let me know in the comments below.
So what do you think, guys? I'm thinking. I'm not so sure, but honestly, some pictures look man-made. I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that. Yes, you cannot prove it for sure, but I don't know. It's just, it looked too perfect. Some looked like the ocean did its thing, but some just looked like they were built. If you were going to space, would you remove pieces of your suit that look ugly? I'm not saying to remove pieces. I'm saying make them look good. Kappa had a good idea. Fake mermaid tails. That could look really good. This summer, like a few months ago, radio was like, let's go scuba diving. And I was like, oh my God, I've never done that before. And then I thought to myself, and I was like, no, wait, you have to wear this ugly ass goggles and the ugly ass suit. And I would have looked like a frog. So I was like, no. But if they like this mask, the goggles, it should be like a mask. So it doesn't look so yonky. A cool, like a motorcycle mask, maybe. Something like that. Hi, Jagant! And yeah, maybe not like, maybe something elegant, like maybe a skirt. I don't know. Yes, that would require so much leg strength to have a mermaid fin. Well, maybe if it's a really delicate fabric and just a little bit of it, like that kind of floats with you. Mermaids do it too. What do you mean? If a mermaid can do it, why can I not do it? Looks too symmetrical for me, but to be honest, they're actual crystals that have similar geometric shapes. Good point, Kappa. Good point. I have seen some crazy crystals too. I don't know. Also, he did say that this type of stone is the type that cuts in a line. That kind of made me think, the way you think should be studied. No, it's already studied, sir. It's just female thinking. You are just not in contact with it that much, Wizard Lizard. My sweet baby. Well, that's good. I'm protecting you from the world, okay? But yeah, I'm just thinking like most of the females. Trust me. I don't have proof and not doubts. Well, we cannot have any proof, right? We're not underwater right now. Just as a theory. I'm not sure. They're not real. You're saying they're not real, you mean they're ocean made, right? Hi! Welcome, UP. Thank you for joining. I love you so much. Again, flattered. Thank you. Really sweet. Mermaids are not real. Oh my God, Jar Jar, did we just watch the same video? Can you really watch something like that and be like, mermaids are not real? How the fuck do you know? Huh? How the fuck do you know? Huh? We should have rented a boat. Yeah, that could be fun. But scuba diving also sounded like fun, but I didn't want to wear those goggles. Hello, thank you for joining. Welcome. I feel like women are into diving than men, at least as a tourist thing. They're more into diving. Yes, women love the thought of diving and finding cute stones and seashells. That's why I'm saying it would be such a good business deal to make cute looking scuba diving suits. You know what? I'm too lazy to try it. But if one of you wants to take my idea and become a millionaire, feel free to do it. But just remember who gave you the idea. Not to give me any money, I don't want it. Just to be like, Diaz was right. She's brilliant. Her mind is out of this place. Just, for my own ego. That would be sweet. Diaz prefers fashion over safety. Can we not have both? Can we not have both? Both. Both is good, right? Right.
Now, on to the next story.
Let's go. Mermaids? Jar Jar, watch.
Story 2.
Mermaids.
The disappearance of the MV Joyita.
Who's that? Not a mermaid. I can have both. I can have anything I want.
From the submerged mysteries of the Yonaguni Monument, where ancient secrets lie carved beneath the waves, we now turn to the open waters of the Pacific, where an entirely different kind of enigma unfolded. It's the story of the MV Joyita, a ship that disappeared without a trace, only to reappear weeks later, abandoned and shrouded in questions. What happened to its passengers and crew? Why was the ship left adrift, miles off course? And what clues did this ghostly vessel leave behind?
Okay, before he says anything, I just have like a suspicion, a theory. I think the people on this thing, they drowned.
Let's dive into the haunting mystery of the MV Joyita.
Let's do it.
In October 1955, the MV Joyita set sail from Samoa on what should have been a routine voyage. The ship, once a luxurious private yacht, had become a reliable workhorse in the South Pacific, ferrying past...
What are these names? What the fuck is Samoa? Tokelau? Is that real? Oh, Fiji. I know, I've heard of Fiji. I've had Fiji water before. I actually didn't like it.
Passengers and cargo between islands. But when Joyita failed to arrive at its destination, a massive search effort was launched. Weeks later, the ship was found drifting over 600 miles off course, with no crew, no passengers, and no explanation. What happened aboard the MV Joyita? Why did its crew vanish, and why was the ship left to wander the sea like a ghost? This is the haunting mystery of the Joyita. In the early 1950s, the South Pacific was a world apart, vast, remote, and dotted with small islands connected by trade routes that crisscrossed thousands of miles of open ocean. For the people living in these isolated communities, the sea wasn't just a lifeline. It was their highway, their livelihood, and sometimes their greatest threat. Amid this expanse of blue
Thank you for
was the
joining.
MV Joyita, a vessel with a storied past. Originally built in 1931 as a luxurious private yacht for a Hollywood director, the Joyita, meaning little jewel in Spanish, had once been the epitome of glamour. But by the 1940s, its glory days were over.
Hi,
During
Sean.
World War II, the ship was repurposed as a military patrol boat for the U.S. Navy, and later it was sold off to private owners who transformed it into a modest but reliable merchant vessel. It wasn't flashy anymore, but it had a reputation as a tough, seaworthy craft. By 1955, the Joyita was owned by Captain Thomas Dusty Miller, a seasoned British sailor who had spent decades navigating the Pacific. He was well known and respected in the region, a man with a deep understanding of the ocean's dangers and its unpredictable moods. If anyone could safely pilot a ship through these waters, it was Captain Miller.
Welcome
On
back.
October 3rd, 1955, the Joyita departed from the port of Apia in Samoa, bound for the Tokelau Islands, about 270 miles to the north. It was a routine voyage, expected to take no more than 2 days. On board were 25 people, including 9 crew members.
25? No fucking way. That looked way too small for 25 people. Am I crazy? 25? That's insane. I was just thinking I would like to chill on this boat with like 2 friends. 25 people? Were they sitting on top of each other? Makes no sense. Oh, a history lesson? Well, kinda. We're trying to educate us, or me, while being creepy and scary for the season of October. So yeah. The ocean has almost as many moods as my eggs. Another Gory's eggs joke. We love it. My emotion levels have been all over the place today. Did you eat something funny, Jar Jar? Have you been sleeping good lately? Be that. Hi again. Welcome back. Yes, needs to learn her geography. Do I need to do that though? Like, do I really need to do that? It's like saying you need to pay your taxes. I know, like, but do you really? Okay, we're gonna continue now.
16 passengers, and a cargo of medical supplies, food, timber, and other goods for the remote islands. Among the passengers was Dr. Alfred Dennis,
Okay, it's
a
bigger than I
respected
thought.
physician traveling to
That looks
Tokelau
bigger.
to perform surgeries. His presence was a testament to the importance of the voyage. In such remote communities, access to medical care was rare and often a matter of life and death. Spirits were high as the Joyita left Apia. The weather was calm, the sea steady, and there was no indication that anything would go wrong.
I do remember you.
But as the hours turned into days, something strange happened. The Joyita didn't arrive in Tokelau. Initially, radio operators assumed the ship had been delayed, a mechanical issue, perhaps, or a minor navigational error. Delays weren't uncommon in the South Pacific, where unexpected problems could add hours or even days to a journey. By the third day, however, concern began to grow. The ship's radio had fallen silent, and there was still no sign of the Joyita. Word spread quickly, and soon...
I'm stupid, but I'm just thinking of like a DS ship with the minions having to, do the paddle. And I'm like, on the walkie-talkie, I'm like, our radio has gone silent. And the camera turns to radio in the corner, just looking down, not saying a word. Okay, I'm retarded. You got this, Jar Jar. But you should sleep more. Don't overdo it. Again, college is not to go crazy with reading and learning. It's to fuck some bitches. Jar Jar, don't let me repeat myself. There are more important things. Okay? I trust you.
Soon a massive search effort was underway. Planes and ships scoured the route between Samoa and Tokelau, covering thousands of square miles of open ocean. But there was nothing, no debris, no distress signal, no sign of the Joyita at all. It was as if the ship had simply disappeared, swallowed by the vastness of the Pacific. 5 weeks later, on November 10th, 1955, the mystery took a chilling turn. A merchant vessel navigating the waters near Fiji spotted something unusual in the distance. At first, it looked like an unassuming piece of flotsam, a dark shape bobbing on the waves. But as the crew drew closer, they realized it was a ship. The missing Joyita, adrift and abandoned, over 600 miles from its intended route. The sight was haunting. The Joyita, once considered unsinkable, was listing heavily to one side, with its deck partially submerged. Yet despite the damage, the ship was still afloat, a testament to its sturdy cedarwood construction. But where were the crew and passengers?
Wait, so I thought they found the ship, like, ruined. They found, like, ruins of the ship. But they found the ship more or less still floating, intact. That is kind of weird. Where the fuck are the people? Like, even if we had, like, an accident and, I would still I would manage. I don't know about you guys, okay? You might drown. But I would manage to hold up there, just hold on tight and wait. 2 weeks is a lot, though. But even if I died of hunger, you would still find me there, crawling and hugging this wood thing with pure will. But they found it empty. That is a bit scary, right? It's a bit heebie-jeebie, right? I know what happened. Pirates. Good theory, Marjun. I didn't even think of it. Pirates, right? They just killed the crew and let the ship be. But wouldn't they steal the ship, though? Because it was a good ship. I think pirates would have taken the ship, too. Right? I would probably lose my glasses. That's why I got laser surgery and I don't need them no more. In any case of apocalypse, I will survive.
The vessel was eerily silent, with no sign of life on board. When rescuers boarded the ship, the scene they found was even more unsettling.
Oh, what is it?
The Joyita looked like a ghost ship. Its interior was in disarray, with cargo scattered everywhere. Boxes of medical supplies had been opened, and blood-stained bandages were found on deck, but there was no explanation for their use. The lifeboats and life rafts were missing, along with personal belongings and the ship's navigational equipment. In the main cabin, the ship's radio was tuned to the...
So it was no pirates because they would have taken that shit. Ooh, I got goosebumps. Maybe there was something on the ship that made them all run away from it. You know, just imagine somebody turns into fish zombie. He bites a few, right? They throw him off the ship. They're like, oh, we got rid of this crazy fucker. Let's try to, you know, get some bandages for the bite marks. And then suddenly they turn into zombie fish too. So the people on there try to escape with the little lifeboats. Damn. Scary.
International distress frequency, but its antenna was broken, rendering it useless. Rescuers noted that the radio would have had a range of just 2 miles in its damaged state, making it impossible to call for help. Adding to the mystery, the clock in the cabin had stopped at 10:25.
Women
as
are
if
the
marking
most
the exact
important,
moment
Jar
something
Jar.
went horribly wrong.
The most important.
The Joyita's engines were another puzzle. The main engine wasn't operational, and the auxiliary engine, a smaller backup, was covered in blankets, suggesting someone had tried to protect it from damage. Yet the ship was still
Thank
seaworthy.
you.
Despite its listing, it wasn't sinking, and there was no immediate danger to those on board. So why had the crew and passengers abandoned it? The ship's logs were missing, along with any documents that might have shed light on what happened. Rescuers were left with only fragments of a story, an empty ship, signs of a hasty departure, and no indication of where the crew and passengers had gone.
Probably got caught in a storm, thought they were sinking. Oh, thank you for the hydration. And got into the lifeboat. But Goris, if they did that, wouldn't they take the supplies with them? Thank you, Jar Jar. I'm just saying. Like, if I left the boat, I get it. You see it's kind of sinking and you're like, better be safe than sorry. Let's get the fuck out of here. But you would take the supplies. You don't, especially if you're somewhere in buttfuck nowhere, right? Also, before they disappeared, they kind of disappeared from the radar too. So something must have happened that they disappeared from the radar and... No, maybe they... Oh, no. But why wouldn't they... Why wouldn't they contact anyone if the ship was sinking and they were still on the radar? I'm thinking, I don't know.
As the Joyita was towed back to port, the questions only deepened. What had caused the crew to leave a ship that was still afloat? Why had they taken the lifeboats but left behind vital supplies like food and water? And why was the ship so far off course, drifting aimlessly in the middle of the Pacific? The discovery of the MV Joyita left investigators with a cascade of mysteries. It wasn't just the eerie sight of an empty, drifting ship. It was the countless unanswered questions. What could have driven 25 people to abandon a seaworthy vessel?
25
And why did they
people, man.
vanish without leaving so much as a trace? One of the leading theories centers around mechanical failure. The Joyita was far from perfect when it departed Samoa. The ship's main engine was already known to be unreliable, and some reports suggest that a leaking pipe caused water to accumulate in the bilge, creating the appearance that the ship was sinking. In a panic, the crew may have believed the Joyita was about to go under, prompting them to abandon ship.
That's what Gory said.
But here's the problem. The Joyita wasn't sinking. Its sturdy, cedar wood construction made it highly buoyant, even in a damaged state.
It was not sinking.
Abandoning such a vessel would have been a last resort, and yet the lifeboats were gone, suggesting the crew had no intention of staying on board. Another compelling theory is that the crew misjudged the situation. The South Pacific is known for its strong, unpredictable currents, and if the Joyita had been taking on water, even temporarily, the listing angle might have convinced the crew it was doomed. But why weren't the lifeboats found? Did they drift too far from the search area? Or was there something else, something more sinister, that prevented anyone from surviving?
Where the
Then,
fucks are the lifeboats?
there's the possibility of foul play. The Joyita's cargo included medical supplies and other valuable goods, which could have made it a target for pirates. The waters of the South Pacific weren't lawless, but piracy wasn't unheard of in the 1950s. Could the crew and passengers have been
gente.
attacked, forced overboard, or taken captive? This theory gains traction when you consider the missing personal belongings and navigational equipment. If pirates boarded the ship, they may have taken anything of value before abandoning it. But again, no evidence of a struggle was ever found, and piracy remains speculative at best.
Also, they didn't take it all. Wouldn't pirates, like, I don't know, suck it dry? But there were some supplies left. I don't know what happened to Juanita. What happened to the lifeboats? Like, even if they did thought the ship is sinking and got into the lifeboats, you would find the lifeboats at some point, right? Because they would drown. Not so sure. We're watching an underwater documentary. Is this boring, guys? Because I have another video we can react to too, which is a bit more less educational. You like it? No. I mean, we can go like watch this for like an hour and then we can watch the other video for an hour. Are you bored? Not really. It's interesting so far. That's not creepy at all, though. Well, the thought of it might being a zombie fish radio is the creepy thing. You know? It's not creepy, it's like, ish. Like, ish. You know? Let's see how the next one goes. I agree. Let's see how the next story is, but we still have a bit of the Juanita story. Let's watch it. Let's watch the next thingy, and then we decide if we want to switch to the other video, right? You do you, boo. I'm here for whatever. That's sweet. Nice. There are actual zombie deer roaming around. Not fun stuff. Zombie deer. Like, they're like, Lisa, right? They have the sickness where they go crazy, right? I feel like he repeats himself a lot, but with Diaz, I shall endure. I think that's why Radio thought it's AI scripted. I kind of noticed that he repeats himself too a few times. But I didn't mind because I'm stupid and I forget. So I was like, all right, thank you for reminding me. How long is the other video? Oh, it's way shorter than that. It's way shorter than that. I think it's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay, I say we finish the Juanita story, watch one more story of the underwater, and then if you are up for it, we switch to the other video, and we can switch back and forth, right? Hey, don't pet me. Do I look like a fucking zoo animal?
One of the more chilling theories involves a rogue wave.
Thank you for joining, though.
Massive wall of water capable of capsizing ships.
Oh my
Rogue
God.
waves are rare but devastating, and some believe a wave might have struck the Joyita, flooding the deck and forcing the crew to evacuate. But the ship was still afloat when it was found, which complicates this explanation. Why abandon a vessel that was clearly capable of surviving such an event? And then there are the stranger ideas.
Wizard lizard.
Some have suggested that the crew might have encountered something unexplainable, a phenomenon so terrifying that they felt compelled to flee.
Watch the
Stories of
documentary.
ghost ships and sea monsters have haunted maritime lore for centuries, and while there's no evidence to support such theories, they speak to the enduring fear of the unknown. The Pacific Ocean is vast and mysterious, and the idea that the Joyita could have encountered something beyond our understanding isn't entirely dismissible. Finally, there's the haunting possibility
How is
that
my
we may
head
never know
paddable?
what
I have
happened.
horns.
The ocean is an unforgiving place,
Do I need a third
and its
one
ability
in the
to
middle?
erase evidence is unmatched. Whether the crew succumbed to dehydration, storms, or even internal conflict, the lack of physical evidence leaves us with nothing but speculation. The Joyita, like so many ghost ships before it, carries its secrets to this day. The story of the MV Joyita didn't end with its discovery. In fact, its legacy only deepened as the ship was salvaged and returned to service. But for many, the Joyita was no longer just a vessel. It was a symbol of maritime mystery, a ship that seemed cursed by its own unanswered questions. After being repaired, the Joyita was put back into operation, but its reputation preceded it. Sailors were reluctant to crew the ship, convinced that it was haunted by the spirits of its missing passengers.
And 25
Some
of
claim
them.
to hear strange noises
That's a lot of
coming from the hull,
haunting.
or feel an unsettling presence when on board. Whether these accounts were genuine or simply fueled by the ship's eerie history, they added another layer of intrigue to the Joyita's story. The ship eventually fell into disrepair and was abandoned once more, this time intentionally. Left to rot, the Joyita became a relic of its own mystery, a physical reminder of the day it was found drifting in
Guys,
the
I'm
Pacific,
still here, okay?
empty and unexplained.
I'm still here.
But the legacy of the Joyita isn't just
Talking
about
shit.
its haunting presence. It's also a reminder of the vastness and unpredictability of the sea. Even in an age of advanced technology and modern navigation, the ocean remains a place where mysteries unfold, where entire ships can vanish, and where answers are often out of reach. For maritime historians and enthusiasts, the Joyita is a case study in the unknown.
Good one, Leo, I
It's a
agree.
story that challenges our understanding of human behavior, mechanical failure, and the raw power of nature. How do you explain a ship that was still afloat, yet completely abandoned? How do you account for 25 people who disappeared without a trace? And how do you reconcile the eerie details, the stopped clock, the bloodstains, the missing equipment, with the absence of any definitive answers? For the people of the South Pacific, the Joyita is more than just a mystery. It's a cautionary tale,
You
a
should
story
crawl
of
a few
how
inches
even the
before
most
you make fun of
routine
me,
journeys
sir.
can take a turn for the unexplainable.
Shut up! Let me
It's a reminder
concentrate.
to respect the sea, to acknowledge its power, and its ability to keep its secrets.
What is
And
Japs?
so, the Joyita remains one of the ocean's most enduring enigmas. Its story has inspired countless theories, sparked debates among experts, and captured the imaginations of those who dare to wonder what really happened that fateful day in 1955. But like all great mysteries, the Joyita's tale is as much about what we don't know as it is about what we do. As the ship fades into history, its legacy lives on, a ghost ship that continues to haunt the waters of the Pacific, a vessel forever tied to the mysteries of the deep. The MV Joyita may have been abandoned, but its story will never be forgotten.
That was the Juanita story. Radio, you are barely taller than me, sir. Barely! Barely. If I wear high heels, popping your ass, okay? Shut your mouth! All of you! Thank you for the follow! Shut it! Okay? Watch it! We're watching now, motherfuckers. Are you having a good day? I'm trying. I'm really trying. They make it hard, though. Okay, guys. So, hi, Heapy. Thank you for joining. And you like the Japan vlogs? That makes me happy. So, what do we think of the Juanita? Honestly, it's probably a stupid reason. I don't think it's haunted. I don't think it was a zombie fish. I think it was really just... I don't think it was pirates, because again, I think they would have taken the whole ship. Thank you for the hydration. I kind of have to pee though, so... Thank you. It's like the art piece of Diaz in her chair. It also had Tango and Kappa in it. Guys, okay, there are some chairs that are just really high, so you don't reach the floor, even if you're tall, okay? If it's badly designed chair, you don't reach the floor. That has nothing to do with my legs. My legs are perfectly fine, long. Okay. I don't think it was anything spooky in this case. I think it was something boring. But I will never know. Thank you for the follow! Thank you, Lord Paws. Thank you. Yeah, I think it was a boring explanation in this case. But again, we cannot know. That is the fun part of it. It's unknown. And it's hella scary, the ocean, I mean. Like, it's so big, you cannot know. How tall are you? 200 feet. Okay? You can Google that. I have a website. It says it. 200 feet.
Story 3. The Mystery of the Challenger Deep.
The Challenger Deep. Okay, we watched this. Story 3. And then we switched to the other video, which is also a documentary, an easy one, but it's again less educational. I think it's a bit more silly. I voted for the other video, but I can still send you the short video I told you about yesterday. I like things that are true though, radio. That's why I don't like creepypasta. Creepypasta is just made up stories. It's boring. I like things that are may or may not true, that maybe happened, you know? I don't want spooky, like I can write a spooky story myself. That's not hard. So that puts radio at 205 feet tall. Yes. Probably. Maybe 203 feet tall, but yes. 202 feet tall, but yes. What? Do you like it deep, Diaz? What, the ocean? No, I like it if I can step down. Who likes the deep one? You have to paddle all the time. It's really exhausting. You're annoying, you know that? All of you. All of you are annoying.
The MV Joyida's ghostly tale reminds us of just how much we don't know about the ocean, even on the surface. But what about the places far below, where the light of day has never reached, and where mysteries take on an entirely different dimension? One such place lies in the Western Pacific, a realm so extreme and remote that only a handful of humans have ever dared to venture there. It's the Challenger Deep, the deepest known point in the ocean, located within the Mariana Trench.
Okay, let me look at it. Just so I can, you know. Australia. Asia. I knew that. Asia is above Australia. What is Hawaii? What the fuck is Hawaii doing there? Hawaii is in America! Oh, it's on the other side. It's a globe. So, okay. I guess. Wait, so is Hawaii closer to Australia than it is to America? Makes no sense.
But the story doesn't end with depth alone. The Challenger Deep is surrounded by mysteries that have confounded scientists for decades.
Oh, in the middle,
including unexplained sounds recorded in the Mariana Trench. Sounds that hint at something strange lurking in the abyss.
I hate space.
Let's dive into the unfathomable depths of the Challenger Deep and the eerie enigma of the trench itself. The ocean is vast, covering more than 70% of the Earth's surface, but its greatest secrets lie in the deep. The Challenger Deep is the deepest point on Earth, plunging nearly 7 miles beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean.
How many kilometers is a mile? So how many kilometers is 7 miles? Hey! Hey! Was I abandoned? Where's Tango? Somebody Google that. Thank you a lot. Thank you. You can love me and I will be all yours. 11. You're late. My sweet minions already answered. Thank you guys. You're sweet. Tango slow and stupid. 11 kilometers. 11 kilometers down. That's really fucking deep. Really deep. Ew. That's scary.
That's deeper than Mount Everest is tall. It's a place so hostile and remote that we've explored it less than we have the surface of the moon. But what lies at the bottom of this abyss? What thrives in a world where temperatures hover just above freezing, pressure is over 1,000 times greater than at sea level, and darkness reigns eternal? And then there are the strange sounds, recordings of unexplained noises emanating from the Mariana Trench.
Ew, that's creepy.
Are they natural phenomena, or do they point to something we can't yet comprehend? This is the story of the Challenger Deep and the Mariana Trench, a journey into Earth's final frontier. The Challenger Deep lies at the southernmost tip of the Mariana Trench, a feature so remote and mysterious that for centuries it was little more than a blank spot on our maps. Stretching nearly 1,500 miles long and plunging almost 36,000 feet beneath the surface, the trench represents one of the most extreme environments on Earth. This is a place where the crushing pressure is over 1,000 times greater than at sea level, temperatures hover near freezing, and sunlight never penetrates. It is the ocean's version of outer space, a hostile alien world where life shouldn't exist, and yet some...
Okay, I hate it. It's basically space. I'm out. Let's burn this place. Can we not drop a bomb down there? But maybe if we do, it will explode down there and then we will all collapse. Or it's like a portal and the bomb will drop on our heads. I don't like it. I want this place to disappear, please. I want it gone. I don't like living on the same planet as this.
Somehow manages to thrive. To understand just how deep the Challenger Deep is, let's put it into perspective.
I just hate it!
At its maximum depth, it's nearly 7 miles below the ocean's surface. That's deeper than Mount Everest is tall, by more than a mile. Imagine standing at the summit of Everest, gazing out at the world below, and then imagine sinking all of that distance into the cold, dark ocean. That's the Challenger Deep. The trench itself is a product of tectonic forces, where the Pacific Plate is slowly sliding beneath the smaller Mariana Plate in a process known as subduction. This geological collision creates a deep scar in the Earth's crust, a trench that forms the boundary between two titanic slabs of rock. But while scientists have studied the formation of the trench and its broader structure, the Challenger Deep remains one of the least explored places on the planet. It wasn't until relatively recently in human history that we even knew the Challenger Deep existed. The trench was first identified in 1875 during the voyage of HMS Challenger, a British research ship tasked with exploring the world's oceans. Using a weighted rope, the crew measured the depth of the trench and found it to be far deeper than anything they had encountered before.
The rope was not long enough.
This discovery
they were like, we have to go
marked
back,
the
grab
beginning of
another
our
rope.
fascination with the Mariana Trench and its deepest point, which would eventually be named in honor of the ship that first measured it. But while we've mapped and charted the Challenger Deep, actually exploring it has proven far more difficult. The conditions down there are so extreme that even the most advanced technology struggles to withstand the crushing pressure. For decades, the Challenger Deep existed as more of a concept than a physical place, a theoretical point so remote and hostile that it seemed almost untouchable. That all changed in 1960 when two men, Jacques Picard and Don Walsh, decided to go where no one had gone before.
Why would you?
In 1960, aboard the
Crazy
Bathyscaphe
fuckers.
Trieste, Picard and Walsh embarked on a journey that would make history. The Trieste was no ordinary vessel. Built
I'm good, how are
specifically
you?
for deep-sea exploration, it was essentially a metal sphere encased in a steel and gasoline shell designed to survive the unimaginable pressure of the deep ocean. The sphere was only large enough to hold two people, and inside, it was cramped, claustrophobic, and dimly lit. Every inch of the craft was engineered to withstand over 16,000 pounds of pressure per square inch, the kind of force that would crush a human body instantly. The descent began just after dawn.
Wait, were they inside that thing? Or did they just let it slide down? It said it fitted two people. Were the people inside? Were the two people inside that thing and went down there? Shut up. No, right? Why would they do that? That makes no sense. I wouldn't do that. That's insane.
Trieste sank below the surface. The world outside grew darker and darker until the windows revealed nothing but inky blackness. By the time they reached the midnight zone, around 3,000 feet down, all sunlight was gone, replaced by an eerie void. The only light came from bioluminescent creatures drifting past the window, their glowing bodies creating a surreal, otherworldly display.
That's crazy.
But the deeper they went, the less life they encountered. At around 30,000 feet, the walls of the Trieste began to creak and groan under the immense pressure. For Picard and Walsh, the sounds were unnerving, a constant reminder of just how fragile their craft was in the face of the deep ocean's crushing force.
They were really inside
Despite
that
the
thing.
risks, they pressed on,
Dude.
descending further into the abyss.
Crazy
After nearly
fuckers.
5 hours, they reached the Challenger Deep. At 35,814 feet, they were at the deepest point on Earth, a place where no human had ever set foot.
Show recordings!
Outside the window, the seafloor was flat and featureless, a barren expanse of sediment and clay. The pressure here was so intense that it compressed the water itself, making it denser than at the surface.
Wait, why is there no recordings? They went down there and they didn't record shit? Maybe there were no windows because the windows would make it easier to get crushed, right? I don't even know why they're inside of there. Like, Paul, this is nasty for me. I would never do that. Why would you? But if they go down there with no windows, they cannot even see shit. So what's the fucking point? No light. Oh, right. But wait, the fish? There were some luminescent fish, apparently. They could film those. We're watching an underwater documentary. Thank you for joining. Damn, this is so crazy.
The two men spent just 20 minutes at the bottom, peering into the void. To their amazement, they spotted what appeared to be a flatfish swimming along the seafloor.
Show me the fish!
This discovery was groundbreaking, as it suggested that life could exist in one of the most extreme environments on the planet. But with their oxygen running low and the risks mounting, they had to begin their ascent. The success of the Trieste mission was a monumental achievement.
How is it a fucking success if you didn't brought anything from down there? You take no pictures, you didn't show any videos, you didn't grab a stone or something. You just went down there, risked your lives to tell me you saw a fish with its own light source, but you just say you saw that. So how do I fucking know? Like, I've seen a fish like that on Finding Nemo, but that's the closest thing to a fish with its own light bulb I've seen. And that's kind of sad, right? There's footage of the creatures down there. They even caught giant squids on camera. Giant squids on camera. Success means no one died. Okay, fair enough. I mean, yes, crazy that they survived that. Crazy fuckers. Look at that thing. Would you go inside there? 2 people going down 11 kilometers. Dude.
But it also highlighted just how much we didn't know about the deep ocean. The Challenger Deep remained largely unexplored for decades, visited only by robotic probes and unmanned vehicles. It wasn't until 2012, over 50 years later, that filmmaker James Cameron made his own descent into the Challenger Deep aboard the Deep Sea Challenger.
Filmmaker. He probably made some films. Oh, Kappa, don't send me videos of weird squids. Please, no.
Cameron's mission was as much about science as it was about storytelling.
Show us!
He spent hours at the bottom, capturing footage of the seafloor and collecting samples for scientific analysis.
Show us!
Unlike Piccard and Walsh, who had to rely on observation alone, Cameron had high-tech cameras and advanced sensors,
Let's go.
allowing him to document the alien-like world of the Challenger Deep in unprecedented detail.
Yes, show.
What he found was both fascinating and humbling. The seafloor was littered with strange, translucent creatures, sea cucumbers, amphipods, and microbial mats that had adapted to the extreme conditions of the trench. These organisms thrive in total darkness, surviving on chemical reactions rather than sunlight. For Cameron, the experience was transformative, a reminder of just how little we understand about the ocean and its hidden depths.
Okay, if they don't show us any footage before this story ends, we will find some on YouTube ourselves, okay? Because I want to see the big fish now. I have to, for educational purposes, okay? And to trust your little story, because what do I know? Maybe you went down there and just played Uno cards, okay? What the fuck do I know? I don't trust you. You don't look trustworthy to me. In fact, you kind of look like liars. Not saying you are, I'm just saying how you look, okay? Because if I see something, I can judge on it. If I see no fish, I cannot judge on it, you know? And I'm not going anywhere near the deep ocean, okay? I'm staying right here where I am. I actually considered to move farther away from this place. We will see. I will look at the footage. Thank you for the follow! I will look at the footage of what's down there after the story, and I might consider moving even further away. Like, what's on the other opposite side of the world? That's where I might go. If it's not a Muslim country. Okay, deal. We will look at it together later.
But even with these advancements, the Challenger Deep remains one of the least explored places on Earth. Less than 5% of the world's oceans have been mapped in detail, and the Challenger Deep is no exception. Its inaccessibility, combined with the immense cost and complexity of deep-sea exploration, means that much of its story is still untold. What lies in its unexplored crevices? Are there life forms waiting to be discovered, or geological phenomena that could reshape our understanding of the planet? For now, the Challenger Deep remains a frontier, a place where science and mystery coexist in perfect balance. The Challenger Deep is a stark reminder of just how much of our planet remains unexplored, a world that's dark, alien, and infinitely mysterious. But the Challenger Deep is just one part of the Mariana Trench, a place where the boundaries of human understanding are constantly tested. Stretching over 1,500 miles across the western Pacific, the trench is a vast, shadowy canyon filled with extremes, crushing pressure,
Thank you for the
bone-chilling
follow!
temperatures, and geological phenomena that defy comprehension. Yet for all its harshness, the trench has not been silent. In recent years, scientists have captured a series of eerie sounds emanating from its depths. These recordings range from the faint creaks of shifting tectonic plates to the unearthly wails and hums that seem to defy explanation.
I would love to hear that shit. Why didn't they record it? How does it sound like? Like, ooh, something like that? Goosey bumps. No. No, fuck this.
What's causing these sounds? Are they natural phenomena, or could they point to something far stranger? As we leave the Challenger Deep behind, let's turn our attention to the mysterious acoustics of the Mariana Trench and the strange signals that have puzzled scientists and sparked endless debate. The Mariana Trench is the deepest oceanic trench on Earth, a place where the rules of the natural world seem to bend. Its immense depth is matched only by its inaccessibility. The trench is so remote that even reaching its upper layers requires weeks of travel by ship. What lies beneath is a world of extremes, shaped by immense geological forces. The trench is a direct result of plate tectonics, where the Pacific Plate is being forced beneath the Mariana Plate. This process, known as subduction, creates intense seismic activity, underwater volcanoes, and towering hydrothermal vents that spew superheated water into the abyss. But the trench isn't just a geological marvel. It's also a soundscape, filled with noises that range from the mundane to the extraordinary. Sound travels differently underwater. The immense pressure and density of the deep ocean amplify and distort even the faintest vibrations, creating a symphony of strange noises.
I
For
also don't
decades,
think it's anything
researchers have
weird. It's
deployed
probably just,
hydrophones,
I don't
underwater
know,
microphones to capture these
the
sounds,
ground's moving or something.
hoping to gain insight into the trench's mysterious environment. What they recorded was far more than they expected. When scientists placed hydrophones into the Mariana Trench, they expected to hear the ambient noise of the deep, the faint groans of shifting tectonic plates, the rumble of distant underwater volcanoes, or the occasional call of a deep-diving whale. What they didn't expect were the sounds that would defy explanation, sounds so alien that they seemed to come from another world.
What does that mean? Show me, like, like something like that? Because this shifting of the platonic stones, dude, I didn't think I would use weird words like that today. That makes sense, right? The water is moving, so with it's moving rocks and sand, and I assume that makes some noise. Like alien sounds? Can you specify that, sir? The fuck is an alien sound? Like, what? I have met no alien. I don't think they exist, in fact. But, like, if they did exist, what sound would they make? Like, plop, 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 plop. Something like that, maybe? We will look for footage in a sec.
The most famous of these recordings is the Western Pacific Biotwang, a noise first recorded in 2014. At first, it starts as a low, moaning hum, almost like the groan of an ancient machine.
Moaning alien.
Then it quickly rises into a metallic screech,
Welcome back.
sharp and piercing, before descending into a deep, resonant rumble. It's unlike any natural sound ever captured before, and it repeats in a pattern,
Thank you for
suggesting
the
it's not a
follow.
random occurrence.
You're deep
The
underwater
biotwang
now.
has been recorded multiple times, always in the same
the deep
region of the
end.
Western Pacific. But what makes it especially puzzling is its frequency range, so unusual that it doesn't perfectly align with any known biological or geological source. But the biotwang is just one piece of the puzzle. Other hydrophone recordings from the trench capture bursts of rhythmic pulses, almost like sonar, but not from any known human-made device.
Kappa, send me the keywords you used to find it, because I have to stay here on YouTube. So I have to Google it, Google it myself.
These pulses are sharp, mechanical, and strangely deliberate, as if signaling something deep within the trench. Their source remains a mystery. Then, there are the long, resonant rumbles that stretch across the audio spectrum.
Thank you.
These low-frequency growls could be linked to geological activity, like the grinding of
Okay, enough of that. I'm bored now because I need some visuals. I need some audio. We're gonna go and look for Biotwang. Biotwang. Mysterious sound, Mariana Trench. Mysterious sound. Oh, there you go. Okay. Can you guys see what I see?
Bei BMS
Oh, this is I'm sorry. This is
arbeiten wir
this is an ad. Just ignore that. Okay, guys. Shut up. Do it again. That sounds like a fucking, like, a machine, right? That sounds like, I don't know. It doesn't sound like fish or rocks. It sounds like, beep boop beep machine. Ugh, that's fucking scary. That's Star Wars. They're comparing it. Why the fuck are you doing that? No, is that real? Okay, nerd. Okay, that did sound kind of scary. That's sounds like a Transformer voice. I kind of thought of it like an U-boat. What are the boats called for underwater? Kind of sounded like that. Might just be the Russians messing around. They're just fucking with us. Okay, I want to see some footage too. So what do I write? Footage of Challenger footage? Is that it? Challenger footage. Deep footage. Challenger deep footage. And now porn comes out. Okay, Mariana Trench. 6,600 meter. Is that a lot? We want the really low stuff. Is that good? Is that low enough? Deep enough? Okay, I will Kappa in a sec. Let me oh, you know what? We're gonna check out Kappas first. So it's Magna Pina. What the fuck? Magna Pina. Magna Pina? Magna Pina squid. Oh, I'm not even typing. Magna Pina squid drilling site. Okay. I'm not a grandma! I just... Fuck you. I cannot see. What the fuck is that? Wait, I need better quality. The fuck? Shut up. I'm not getting into the water again. The fuck is that? Oh, how long is it? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, why? No. Get that shit out of my face. Oh my god! Why would you go down there? This makes no sense. This is hella crazy. Oh, did you see how long those little squid legs were? Tentacles, right? That's the word. Should we check out this too? Should we? I don't know. I'm not so sure. Okay, let's just do it. Ignore the ads, okay? I have ads. Yes, my bad. Okay. Sorry. Ooh. I don't know if I want to see that. I knew the ocean is disgusting, but wait, let me check the quality. We want the best quality. Okay, these looks like normal fish, right? They look kind of normal. That looks tasty. I would eat that shit. That's like a huge ass shrimp. That's like a gigantic shrimp. That would feed me and I would be like not hungry for like a whole day. Half a day. But these are not that scary, okay? I'm not that scared of that. I think that didn't terrify me as much. This is nasty though. Let me see a bit of footage here.
Deep below the warm
Shut up. I don't want to hear more of it. I want to see. The fuck is that? The fuck is that? Hey, that's the same footage. They stole the footage. Let me see. What? What the fuck was that? Ew, that looked like a toy. Bro, what is that? What is that? Where is its face? What is its face? Where? How? Ah. Dude! The fuck? What was that? Oh my god. Nasty, nasty, sheesh. Shit. Fuck. Bruh, no. No, I think I'll say the fuck far away from the ocean. Tangle! Come on. Okay, guys. It's time for my breaky break, but I'll be back. And after that, we're gonna watch some other type of videos. We're gonna react to some, I think the most crazy TV... what is the other video called?
What?
The other, Tingle, you're... Okay, the other is like about TV and,
You guys really suck at picking those stuff, eh?
Picking what stuff?
Stuff to react to.
Why would I suck? I pick good stuff. Guys, that was entertaining, wasn't it?
Was fine. Hey, how about you watch Goosebumps?
How about you go and fuck yourself?
How about you watch Goosebumps, though?
What is Goosebumps?
It's like an old school, like...
Boring!
Old school
I want to watch
old school
TV! Scary, creepy things!
It's an old school Halloween show for kids.
You're a kid show, that's creepy. My asshole is creepy. Creepier than
It's
this
charming.
TV show. No, I don't want charm. I want creepiness. I want
It
to
is
get
kinda
goosey
charming, I
bumps.
think.
I want goosebumps! I want to feel something, okay? Something! So, where's the other video? Okay, we'll find it. Okay, I'll be back after the break, and we will watch something else, okay? And if you want to watch more of that, we can do that later. I have all evening
The
today.
show's actually called Goosebumps.
Yeah, but you still get no goosebumps.
Well, kinda, maybe.
I don't think so. No. I don't
See,
think
they
so.
know, they know.
I don't give a fuck! I want real goosebumps! Not fake ones. Okay, 15-minute break and I'll be back, guys! See you in 15 minutes! Hey. Hello, hello, hello there. We are back. Did you miss me? I was gone for too long, huh? You couldn't bear any minute of it. I know. So, we're gonna watch a different video now. I should have put the video before I started this. Where's the... Thank you, thank you. Thank you guys for waiting. No, I'm not gonna watch this one. What was the other one called?
You can change it.
Yeah, but I have to find out what the other one was called.
Oh.
Oh. Do we have WhatsApp here?
I
Will it dox it? Just tell me what the video's called. Okay, we're gonna watch something different now. I haven't watched any of these videos, so I cannot promise they're gonna be good. Maybe they're gonna be ass. But we will slide through this ass together. Okay? And we can always back off. The darkest moments in TV history. Come on, that's scary. Okay, not scary, but creepy, right? Right. Oh, there are lots of it. Which one was the one I choose, Tangle? Was there anything else in the video description? Okay, we're just gonna watch the first one then. Yeah, okay, shut up. So, are you guys ready? Ads, of course. Skip it. So, buckle up. Wait, let me do the quality. We want the best quality. No, I don't have premium. I want premium. I want YouTube Premium. So, let's do this.
It was a typical day in the world of daytime television. Infomercials, soap operas, and highly scripted legal shows filled viewer screens, with one of the more popular at the time being a program called Christina's Court.
Today, in Christina's
I think I've seen scenes of that.
The show centered around a woman named Christina Perez, giving counsel and advice to those wrapped up in legal drama. And on this particular morning, comedian Sean Harris would be featured filing suit against his ex-girlfriend in the hopes of recouping unpaid rent.
Every month it would be something different, you know?
Like what?
I ain't got it this month because I got to do this or that. And I'm like, man.
So you let her go 9 months without paying rent?
Now, like I said, these shows were very obviously scripted, at least to some degree, and with Sean himself being a professional comedian, it led to countless funny moments and what turned out to be one of the show's more iconic episodes, with by far the most memorable moment coming at the very end,
Muscle Man?
when things seemed to deviate from the script.
constantly like a child in my
People
own
in
house.
love, they yell at each other all the time.
Oh, that's
They
true.
don't have
Ask him, he's
nothing
been
to
married for how long?
Over 27 years.
Over 27
Look at him though,
years.
he look mad. You don't look happy, brother. You don't look.
He does look kind of mad, but maybe it's just the muscles. Maybe it just makes him look more serious.
Here, we see the comedian take aim at Christina's bailiff, a man named Renard Spivey, who was an integral part of the show, being the judge's sidekick for years and years. Though it wasn't often that he found himself at the end of a joke like this, as Sean suggests that Renard looked unhappy when it was revealed that he had been married for over 27 years.
He's very happy. Okay, all right, let's get back to the clean.
All in all, it made for a rather charming moment, with viewers adoring the lighthearted jab aimed at one of the show's most beloved characters.
I know why he is beloved. Come on. He seems like the type who doesn't speak much, so I would think that the reason why he was beloved was his muscles. I'm gonna stop talking about his muscles now.
Though no one could have known at the time just how true that joke about his happy marriage would turn out to be.
Aw.
Still developing tonight, a Harris County Sheriff's deputy facing serious charges. 63-year-old Renard Spivey accused of killing his wife, 52-year-old Patricia
Shut up!
Spivey, after an argument that turned deadly. KPRC Channel 2's...
Oh my god. Shit.
On July 28, 2019, over a decade after the aforementioned program aired, Renard Spivey was confronted by his wife Patricia about what she believed to be steroid use or perhaps even infidelity. And in the midst of this heated argument, Spivey would draw his gun and shoot his wife once in the arm and then in the chest. Shortly after, police would find her lifeless body crumpled in their bedroom closet.
This is scary. So she told him basically he has weak pee-pee, right? He couldn't get it up? Is that what this means? Because of the steroids? And he pulled out a gun? I thought I thought he killed her with his bare hands, but he pulled out a gun. It's weak. She kind of proved him right. The last thing she did. God bless her heart. Yes, is the kind of girl who sent love letters to convicts? No. Of course, if they are not guilty or they're guilty of something that I approve of, maybe not love letters, but maybe, I don't know, kill a pedophile, for example. Sean! Scary time! And can you do me a favor? I'm doing a drawing on you. Can you turn to your left for 10 seconds so you can count, please? To my left? Like this? I already am turned. Thank you so much for the super chat! It's such a huge one too! And you're drawing me? Well, you can consider me a lucky girl. 10 seconds, huh? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is that good? I feel like a muse. I feel like I'm in like the 18th century in London with my beautiful frilly dress, and I'm sitting there and somebody's drawing me. Is that good? Thank you so much. Steroids are for gaining muscles, right? Do they affect the pee-pee? I think they do. I think some of the things that can happen to you if you take steroids are, first of all, hair loss. Second of all, acne on your back, especially. And, problems with erections. That's what I heard. I haven't tried it. I don't need to. These muscles, they just grow by themselves. But, I heard that there are a lot of downsides to taking steroids. So, damn. She roasted his ass and he just pew-pewed her. And proved her point. Again, scary.
Now, after years and years of taking part in this one...
Look at that face! Look at that mugshot. He does look unhappy.
This famed legal show, Spivey can be found alone in his prison cell, where he'll likely remain for the next 14 years of his life. for murdering the woman that he was so happily married to, turning what was once one of Christina's court's most iconic moments into one of the darkest examples of irony in all of television history.
When you find a good woman, you got to hang on for dear life, because then it's hard to find another one. So my advice as a happy woman, married woman.
Ironic. I wonder if Christine's show was still airing after that. I assume not. Do you like these judging shows? There are a lot of them, like Judge Judy and stuff like that. I find the judges, the female ones, to be really bossy and rude sometimes. So they kind of annoy the heck out of me. But they can become a guilty pleasure watching these type of shows. I used to watch something similar, like a German version of it with my grandma. That was nice. And you just knew everything was scripted. But still, you were like, oh my god, he killed her, right? Right.
Before we get any further, I want to thank Scentbird for sponsoring this video and in turn making this dark content financially viable.
No, thank you. Skipping the ad. Yep. No ads, thank you. Chapter 2. Tetsushi Yanagida's Fall.
The world of television is an interesting one. Despite the highly controlled and well-polished products that we're typically used to seeing on our screens, there have been a surprisingly high number of deeply disturbing moments that have happened when on air, and this potentially new series aims to highlight some of the most disturbing. And what better way to start than with a relatively unknown case that has haunted me for years. Saturday, June 14th, 2008, a Japanese TV station called Television Miyazaki is running its standard live programming, which on this day was set to feature a game show-like segment in the remote rice fields of Takachi Hocho. The game itself was simple. Competitors stood back-to-back on a small wooden...
Is the quality really, really bad, or is it just because it's an old video? It's alright, I cannot go higher. I can do this.
And stand above the shallow...
It's still kind of bad. I think it's because it's footage of 2008, but still, it's really bad.
Muddy water below, and when given the cue, they would attempt to shove their opponent into the water without turning their bodies around. In the end, the one left standing on the platform would be declared the winner, with the loser being left humiliated in the mud.
The Japanese come up with the most funny game shows ever. That's a fetish, come on.
Round 1 goes off without a hitch, resulting in the losing contestant being covered head to toe in a thick brown sludge, with the whole atmosphere perfectly encapsulating the craziness and high energy charm that you would expect from a Japanese game show made at the time. And so far, everything was all in good fun, with this excitement only escalating as the contestants convince one of the show's hosts, a man named Tetsuchi Yanagida, to join in on the competition. It took some convincing, but eventually Tetsuchi agrees to compete, much to the enjoyment of everyone spectating. And from there, the comedy writes itself, as immediately after the round starts, it's apparent that he stood little to no chance.
I would win this, by the way. I'm just saying.
And upon instantly losing his balance, Tetsuki reacts in a split second and dives off the platform, landing headfirst into the muddy water below, which causes his body to fall limp.
Whoa, did you see that? He fell really bad.
The water that he had just dove into was merely 6 inches deep, with the rest consisting of a thick layer of mud, which his head would strike directly, instantly causing his neck to break. And in that very moment, Tetsuchi would be irreversibly paralyzed, leaving him unable to move from the neck down.
Oh, shut up.
It was a tragic accident. However, the accident itself is far from the most awful part of this live broadcast, with that coming immediately after. Unaware of Tetsuchi's severe injury, the crew believed that he was merely playing a prank on them and just joking around, and so they left him there, face first in the water, and proceeded to shove his face even deeper and deeper into the mud, splashing even more on top of his head to rub in the fact that he had lost.
Oh my god. Oh, I cannot watch that. That's horrible. Oh my god. He was alive, he was just paralyzed. So he drowned in the mud. Shut up.
They had no idea that during their antics, Tatsuchi was in a desperate fight for survival, as in those 6 inches of water, he was slowly drowning, and completely unable to pick up his head to breathe.
Oh my god.
This lasts for an excruciatingly long 15 seconds, before they begin to bob his head up and down, and eventually pull Tatsuchi's face out of the water. But this reprieve was short-lived, as the contestants proceed to drop him back into the mud face first.
This is horrible.
It is so incredibly painful to watch, and made all the more disturbing with the over-the-top hysterical laughter coming from everyone around him, who are completely oblivious to the situation in front of them. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, Tatsuchi is hoisted above the water, and the camera switched back to the main broadcast, ending both Tatsuchi's and the viewer's pain. By some stroke of good fortune, Tatsuchi would survive the ordeal, but just barely, as it's estimated that even just a few more seconds in that mud would have likely led to his death. But thankfully, this wasn't the case, and according to his Facebook page, Tatsuchi has learned to live with his body-wide paralysis, and even went on to rejoin the show years later in some capacity, and
This makes me so sad. Oh my god. I did not expect that. This is horrific. This is crazy. I mean, so good for him that he survived, but most of all that he still finds joy in life. But that would have broken me. Dude, that was horrible to watch. Oh my god.
ending this entry off on somewhat of a bright spot, despite this otherwise being one of the more unsettling and appalling broadcast accidents that I've ever seen.
Wait, I need a break. What the fuck? That was, oh my god. You missed it, Gories. Honestly, that was dark. That was hella dark. And on live TV, right? It was live. Imagine being one of those people thinking he's making, like, they're stupid, but okay, they really thought he's making a joke. How do you live with that? That you put like more mud on him while he was struggling to breathe. Oh my god. This is insane. Sheesh. You could really see when he jumped into the mud, he did like this, he curved his head up front. That's probably how he got his neck hurt. Dude. It can happen so fucking fast. Ugh. If that's dark, you definitely shouldn't watch what I sent you. It's dark because it's true. It's not a made-up story. This is real. That's what makes it so dark. I hate seeing clips where the people are definitely gonna die. It gives me such a bad feeling, right? It should, Wizard Lizard. I think we as humans should never lose the discomfort of seeing somebody get seriously hurt. And I think that's one of the things that are wrong in this day of society. And yes, all DS, Hag DS is gonna spill some true now. So listen up, young folks. It's not good to watch so many videos of people being killed or tortured that at some point you can just watch them and not feel disgust. And it's really sad that this is happening. We should always, try to keep that spark alive. I know it's hard, but try it. Don't go down that rabbit hole. The last video I sent you is real too, not the Play-Doh. Okay. Now I'm kind of scared. Maybe we'll check it out. I don't like those types of videos. That's good, Gories. That's good. I only watch VTubers, my rabbit hole. Well, Moritz, every rabbit hole has its dangers, but that's still, I think, a better one than just be constantly on X and watching all the sad things happening in the world and just consuming it, and at some point you just don't care. Ugh. Ah. Eh.
Wake up with Donald Herbert had been in a coma for the previous...
The Awakening, Chapter 3.
On the topic of broadcasts that have left an impression on my life, I would say none have had more of an emotional impact than a story run by 60 Minutes about a man named Donald Herbert. The story starts back in 1995, just 4 days after Christmas, when a fire broke out in a home in Buffalo, New York. In an attempt to put out the blaze, firefighter Donald Herbert was standing on the roof of the building when suddenly it gave way. As a result, Herbert would fall into the attic where he would be trapped in the smoke, unable to breathe. He would lay there without oxygen for 6 whole minutes before they finally were able to pull his body to safety, with the whole ordeal being filmed and shown on local news. Somehow, Herbert managed to survive this accident, but being without air for that long caused him to lose most of his brain function, leading to him spending the following years in a minimally conscious state, unable to eat, unable to breathe, and seemingly unable to understand the world around him. Eventually, his condition led to him being placed in a nursing home, where a feeding tube was the only thing keeping him alive. For all intents and purposes, the man was gone. But then, something happened. On April 20th, 2005, a staggering 9.5 years after his accident, Donald Herbert woke up. In the nursing home where he had spent most of the years unresponsive, he would suddenly turn to a nurse and ask for his wife, Linda, while displaying signs of being fully lucid, which prompted the staff to immediately call his family, who rushed to see him. And sure enough, despite Herbert being completely blind, he was not only fully responsive, but recognized almost all of his family members. The moments following were all captured by cameras and later shown on an episode of 60 Minutes, with the footage being some of the hardest hitting and emotional that I've personally ever seen.
How long have I been gone?
Quite a while, pal. Quite a while. 10 years.
I got goosebumps. I got fucking goosebumps. What the fuck? So he was like basically in a coma. And it's like he just woke up one day. Oh, I mean, that's a miracle. That's a good thing. But that's so scary. Like, just imagine realizing that you've been gone for 10 years. This is insane. Imagine his family members suddenly like being able to talk to him again. Jesus. Welcome back, Jar Jar. Hi. Welcome, guys. This is insane. Oh my god. I mean, good news. I was not expecting like a happy end, but it's still tragic.
The pain in discovering that he had been gone for 10 years, all that time missed, robbed from a man who was just doing his job, is indescribably gut-wrenching. But it's what happens after this footage that proves to be the most upsetting part.
Oh god.
For nearly 16 hours, the newly awakened man spoke with his family, catching up on every little detail that he had missed. And though from that point on he had moments going in and out of his lucidity, his long-term prognosis actually seemed hopeful. Throughout the next few weeks, Donald was surrounded by family members at all times, not only to take advantage of every single second that Herbert was awake, but also for his own safety as well, as since his awakening, he would thrash violently in his sleep, as if he still believed he was trapped in that blaze. And so to ensure his safety, at least one family member would be stationed with the man while he slept. Though on one night, one of the family members on duty had grown too exhausted to stay any longer, and from the first time since he became lucid, Donald Herbert was left alone. And during that night, he would again start to thrash violently, with Herbert flailing so hard that he would fall out of his bed and strike his head against the floor, causing his brain to start bleeding. From that moment on, Donald Herbert would never become lucid again, and as a result of his injuries, he would pass away 1 year later from pneumonia.
Fuck. I was about to say this is nice, like it's still tragic, but it could end. No. Dude, he was haunted by that experience. So bad. Yeah, like seizures, right? That's what it's called. Dude, imagine being that family member that like left him alone. The guilt. Oh my god. Wait, what are we watching? We're watching the darkest moments in TV history. Oh my gee, he cannot catch a break. Poor guy, right? The terror in his face. That was, oh my god, that was a hard watch too. These are actually like, not in a spooky way, just in a dark way. Haunting as fuck. Did you see that, Tingle?
No.
Well, honestly, don't look at it. Well, Christmas is gonna be awkward. Yeah, so about that night, Timmy. You were tired, weren't you, huh? How tired were you, Timmy? Dude. He had to live 1 year of kind of torture after being trapped in a coma, and then after all that, he died. Truly heartbreaking. He was in a coma 10 years. He had the accident. He was 10 years in a coma. He woke up. He was kind of in between. And then he hit his head, and after a year, he died. Damn. God bless the firefighters. Dude. Dude, okay, I'm ready.
Why don't you vet the things that we react to them?
What should I do?
Why don't we vet the stuff we watch for react?
What is vet?
Check if it's fine. Like a veterinarian, like a doctor.
Well, if anything, that's your job. I sent you the videos. Now my pure heart is impaired by this dark event.
Well, keep watching, then you'll want to watch Goosebumps, which is kind of silly.
Next chapter. Okay, guys, let's hope this one is dark, but we'll have like a happy twist. Oh, he was a firefighter? I missed that part. Yes, that's how he had the accident. They were at a burning building and he was at the roof. And the roof collapsed, and he fell in a room, and he was trapped in that room for 6 minutes till he could get him out. And he was trapped in there with all the, you know, the fire and the smog. And that's probably what he saw in his dreams. That's why he was like shaking at night, because he still felt trapped in there. Okay. Next one, guys. Are you ready? I'm not sure if I'm ready. This is actually sad, if anything. But, we signed up for it, so come on.
If anyone had ever thought that such a
Chapter 4.
thing could happen, obviously we
The Twilight Zone incident.
The Twilight Zone. Throughout its lengthy run, this television series provided some of the most entertaining and memorable moments in all of television. But for this section, I'm going to be cheating a little bit, as rather than looking at an event surrounding the show itself, I'll be highlighting the far less memorable movie version of the series. Simply named Twilight Zone the Movie, the film is broken up into multiple sections serving as sort of an anthology work with 3 separate storylines. And for the sake of this story, only one section and really only one scene bears discussion. The scene was intended to simulate a battle in the Vietnam War, in which the protagonist, a character played by actor Vic Morrow, is attempting to outrun an attack helicopter and escape the area. The footage was intended to serve as the section's dramatic conclusion, with it being described as the following. In the scene that served as the original ending, Bill, the character portrayed by Morrow, stumbles into a deserted Vietnamese village, where he finds 2 young Vietnamese children left behind when a US Army helicopter appears and begins shooting at them. Morrow was to take both children under his arm and escape out of the village, as the hovering helicopter destroyed the village with multiple explosions. Based on that description alone, shooting the scene was going to be tricky and likely a very intense process on the set, as all the effects used were set to be done practically, meaning that they would require an actual helicopter and real pyrotechnics. Not only this, but the director, a man named John Landis, wanted to use actual child actors for the scene.
Don't tell me they shot the kids by accident. I'll go nuts.
Okay, let's place our bets. Did they shoot the kids? B. Did the village explode prematurely and blow the kids up? C. Did the main character drop one of the kids and the kids broke his neck?
Now it will be the last one, which is the most weird one. I don't know. I think one of the kids got hurt or something. I don't know. This is... Hi, thank you for joining. This is terrifying. Okay, guys. Hold my hand. We'll find out together.
Which, given that it was planned to take place at night and near explosions, was technically illegal in the state of California. Despite the laws in place, however, Landis decided to shoot the scene regardless, enlisting 7-year-olds Mika Din Lee and 6-year-olds Renee Shin Yi Chen to play the roles of the Vietnamese children. And with all the pieces now in place, the cameras began to roll on what was set to be the stunning conclusion to this particular section.
Oh my god, what's gonna happen? Dude.
As the scene starts, the spectacle of it all can't be understated, as the lighting, setting, and the pyrotechnics truly set a haunting tone. However, unbeknownst to the production team, there was a major problem developing. As stated prior, all the effects you see here are real, and during the scene there was an actual helicopter flying just above the actors, which by itself was already very dangerous, and made even more so due to the pyrotechnics. For the pilots, the explosions launched in the air created fireballs in the sky, making things much more difficult to navigate, but those on the ground were never made aware of this. And being pressed to make things look even more and more intense, the crew decided to double down on their explosions, launching 2 massive charges back to back. A decision that proved to be a costly one, as the second blast was so strong that it dislodged the helicopter's tail prop, causing the craft to spin uncontrollably. And within mere seconds, as the cameras rolled on the 3 actors trudging their way through the water,
Marjun, did you just jinx those 2 kids?
the craft crashes directly on top of them.
Shut up!
Somehow, everyone on board the helicopter survived the wreck, though those on the ground weren't so lucky, as in one split second, the blade of the helicopter slashed into Vic Morrow and Mika Din Lee, instantly decapitating them.
Shut up! Oh my god! Oh my fuck! Are you... Who...
It landed on top of them.
It didn't just land on top of them, it sliced the actor and one of the kids. It decapitated them. What the fuck is wrong with this director? Please God, tell me suing his ass is like the minimum you can do. What the fuck do you mean? I cannot do this. This is making me angry. This is mild. Radio, into the corner. Okay, pray. I want you to say 7 times the Vater unser auf English.
Oh. Dear Father in heaven, you know.
Dear Father in heaven, blah blah. Into the corner 7 times. Okay. Name an anime character for an edit. An anime character. Zenitsu! Yes, good one. This is so horrific. This is, dude. So this was put in the movie or no? Do you think so?
The director, did you get that?
Did you get that? Oh my god! And then just they changed the actor playing the protagonist and he looks kind of slightly different, but they're just pretending he's the same person? Bro. Okay, let's find out. So one of the kids died and the protagonist, and they didn't just die, they got like sliced.
As the craft slammed to the ground, Renee Shin Yi Chen would be crushed beneath its massive weight. In one frame, there were 3 living actors, and in the next, there were none. In retrospect, it's not hard to see the red flags and the dangerous practices being used by the production team. However, following several long legal battles, no one would be found liable in the deaths of—
What? 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 I have a list of people that could have stopped this. I'm gonna start with the parents of the poor kids. Why? It's one thing to have kids as actors. It's just exploitation in my mind, okay? But let's say they really want to be actors, and you're like, okay, I will support you kids. In this movie, with this particular danger, bad parents. Start with that. The protagonist, the fuck? Why wouldn't you just say, no, I'm not doing that? Okay? Just say I'm not doing it. Did they put a gun on your head, or why? The crew, the director, the dude flying the helicopter. He like, at some point, he would have to be like, okay, this is dangerous. I think this is the point where I just fly away with my helicopter. I'm just like, whoop, out of here. The fuck?
You know, I think maybe no one got in trouble because of like how they signed their contracts and stuff. But in general,
why would you sign this contract?
Like in general, people making movies back then, I think they knew that people died. People still die making movies, and they still do it. Like it happens all the time. Dangerous stuff.
But this is next level.
It only was next level because it didn't work. I think there's a bunch of.
I know that there are a lot of stand men, actors that put themselves in dangerous situations that actually get hurt real bad or die. But kids, come on.
Yeah. Do you know Terminator 2?
No.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hi, Tal! Thank you for joining. Oh, yeah, I know.
Plays the evil robot guy.
Yes.
Like in the second movie, there is a scene where one of those robots is piloting a helicopter and actually flying beneath a bridge in the helicopter. The stunt was so dangerous that the camera people were like to the director, we're not shooting that. And he was like, fuck you, then I'm gonna do it. So the actor actually went into the helicopter pilot, went and flew through the bridge, and the director himself rode along with a car and filmed it. If he made one mistake, the entire helicopter would have been like shredded to pieces and the guy would have died.
They're crazy. These are so... But I'm like... All the adults, they wanted to do that, but the kids? Somebody signed that contract for the kids.
They're Vietnamese, who cares? I'm just trying to channel the people of the time, maybe.
You're trying to lighten the mood. Tangu's trying to lighten the mood, okay? He's not that much of an asshole, okay? He's just trying to be funny. This is outrageous. I thought at least they would sue that director to hell and back. But what do you mean nobody got charged? Nothing. This is insane!
The three actors, and Landis himself would go on to enjoy an incredibly successful career. The Twilight Zone film would eventually be released years later, only with a different ending.
Oh, they're not gonna...
Wait, you cannot just jump into the next chapter. This, I'm so shook by that. Yeah, Tango, bad humor. Oh, you scared me, radio. These redeem sounds scare the fuck out of me. So it's German time now. Okay. I have to speak German for 5 minutes. Also, das war schrecklich. Das war wirklich gruselig. Und, nicht viel besser als die Story davor, also habe ich nicht viel Hoffnung für die nächsten Chapter.
That was horrible. Not much better than the story before. I don't have much hope for what comes next.
That's Fahrenheit Lillys Job. Das ist Fahrenheit Lillys Job. Du gehst in die Ecke und machst 7-mal das Vaterunser. Okay. Wir machen weiter. Seid ihr bereit? Wollt ihr meine Hand halten? Nein? Okay, aber ich will eure Hand halten, also her damit. Los geht's.
Demolish it. There's nobody
Chapter
coming
5.
here.
Albert
I'll fight
Dryden.
force with force.
Our final story takes us to the quaint countryside of Butsfield, England, where a man named Albert Dryden had been living...
Buttfields England. Ist das echt? Heißt der Ort wirklich so?
A fairly solitary life. Following his retirement from steelworking, Albert dedicated his life to building up a plot of land which he had purchased in the area. His main goal was to construct a bungalow for his elderly mother where she could live during the summers, while also planning to build some sort of fallout bunker on the same plot. But right from the start, he ran into issues, as his permit request to build these structures on his land was promptly denied. This did not stop Dryden, however, as despite the ruling, he began his construction anyway, believing he had found a workaround with the law, as rather than building the house in a standard manner, he instead dug a deep hole into the ground and began to construct his home there, labeling it as the home in a hole. Due to this, the home only stood about 8 feet or so above the ground, which Dryden believed made the construction legal. However, he was wrong in his assumption, and the building swiftly caused a disagreement between the man and the Derwentshire District Council, with this rift growing more and more amplified as time went on. In the midst of this ordeal, a man named Harry Collinson was appointed as chief of the council and assigned to handle the case as his first order of business, and he did so by initially sending Dryden a letter demanding that he stop construction and also tear down what he had already built. Dryden, however, decided to counter with a court appeal, which was swiftly denied, leading to the court's final order that the building be demolished within 3 months. It was around the same time that the local news began to document the ongoing feud between Dryden and the government, and despite the numerous rulings against him, Dryden still refused to give in to the government's demands, and eventually, the council decided to take matters into their own hands, and decided to demolish the structure themselves. So on June 20th, 1991, Harry Collinson, a demolition team, and a group of police constables traveled to Dryden's property to demolish the structure. Before this group arrived, the decision was made that should Dryden attempt to escalate the situation, they were to immediately back off and come up with another plan to avoid any sort of physical altercation.
Hi, willkommen!
At the scene, numerous reporters had already began gathering at the property line, including a cameraman for the BBC, who was there to document the feud in real time. And right from the start, it was clear that Dryden was not going to be going down without a fight. The gate to his property was chain-locked, with Dryden standing behind it, pointing to 2 letters that he believed proved that he should be able to keep his structure intact, at least for the time being.
Read that, that's an official letter, and there's an appeal in. There's an inspector coming out on this site in 5 weeks' time.
No, it doesn't say that. I'll be ready to say
Well, I have another letter, confirming that.
Wir gucken die dunkelsten Momente in TV-Geschichte. Dunkelsten? Gruseligsten? Ich will sagen, ich bin kein Fan davon, dass man dir sagen kann, wie du dein Haus baust oder nicht. Ich bin tatsächlich total dagegen, dass die Scheißregierung sich überall einmischen kann. Ich finde das richtig nervig. Aber ich sag gerade nichts, weil vielleicht gibt es eine Gefahr, weil er sein Haus so tief im Boden gegraben hat. Und wenn ich jetzt sage, blöde Regierung, und die Regierung hat eigentlich recht, so, weil gefährlich ist, keine Ahnung. Deswegen, aber an sich fickt die Regierung. Oh, danke, Goris.
I'm not going to show you the other letter, but this chap's coming out in 5 weeks' time. Well, all that I'm asking is to wait 5 weeks for the outcome, maybe 6 weeks. It'll take a week after he's been out.
I'm satisfied, Albert, that there's nothing in these documents that affects the legality of the enforcement notice that the inspector has confirmed.
Well, yes, Harry.
However, Dryden's request for more time was clearly falling on deaf ears, and realizing this, Dryden began to grow more and more agitated, with his tone quickly turning far more menacing.
If you don't open the gate, now we'll obviously have to take the fence down with the machine. So if you want, you can have some time to remove the fence yourself to minimize the damage. Do you want to?
It's okay, guys. I had German redeem. I had to speak in German. So basically, normally I would be on the side of the dude building his house, because I'm like, why the fuck can the government tell me how I build my fucking house? I get it if there's some safety issues. That's why I'm being careful here, because I feel like something bad is gonna happen, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I'm actually like, what is happening? Okay, when is the bad thing gonna happen? Will the house flood? Like, will it fall into the earth? I don't know. But overall, I fucking hate that the government can tell you if you are allowed to build. You're not even allowed to, like, I find that crazy. You're not allowed to build a bunker in your garden. In your garden. The one you bought on your land? The fuck you mean? The fuck you mean I'm not allowed to build a bunker in my garden? I'm not allowed to have chicken in my garden. I'm not allowed to bury my grandma in my garden. It's my garden. Maybe I want my grandma in my garden. The fuck are you to tell me no? Retard, motherfucker. But again, I'm being careful here because maybe him building the house so low in this hole has some safety issues going on, okay? I mean, he wouldn't have built it in a hole if they didn't deny it. No, I think he built it first and then they denied it, right? Like, he built it and then they were like, you have to ruin that and stop building, right? Right, okay, I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen now. I'm actually scared. The fuck is gonna happen? Does the grandma agree? She would. She would if she would still be here. Okay? I know her better than the government. I know my grandma better. The government doesn't know my grandma. He wanted a house bunker. They denied the bunker. Oh, he wanted a bunker. They denied it, and so he built his house being basically a bunker. Why shouldn't the man have a bunker? I want a bunker. I want a fucking bunker. You know what? I actually have a bunker. It just happens that this house I'm in right now was an old house that was still there, World War II. So this house actually has a bunker, a bomb bunker, okay? But I want one in every house. I want a bunker in every garden, okay? But yeah, government, fuck you. Let's continue. I'm scared.
Do that. Any damage that's subsequently caused as a result of you preventing us doing that will be your liability.
Well, you might not be around to see the outcome of this disaster.
Okay, I'm just gonna put my guess. He's gonna get really aggressive and kill that dude. That's my guess. What's your guess? I'm just saying, because I don't think anything will happen regarding the house itself. I think this dynamic here is the bad thing creeping up. I think somebody's gonna get murdered.
You've been warned. Well, I'm not gonna explain, but if you had any sense, you would go away now and wait 5 weeks for the outcome of that. Right? That's my last word on it.
If you show me the letter referring to the 5 weeks delay,
I can't show you the letter.
We will consider.
I've told you where the letter is.
Oh, they will get in a fight.
Based on their initial plan, the crew should have certainly turned back, as it was now getting to the point that Dryden was outright threatening Collinson, warning him that if he were to step on his property, that something awful was going to happen. And though this did cause Collinson to take a few steps back, he still remained steadfast in carrying out the task and remained on the edge of the property line, standing his ground even when Dryden escalates the situation even further.
What the Lord don't know? Go up there.
Can you get a shot of this gun?
Oh shit. He has a gun.
As the two stand face to face, Dryden brandishes his
He looks kind of funny holding his gun. He looks like a leprechaun.
Pistol and points it directly at Collinson. And wanted to ensure the man's combative behavior was being documented, Collinson asks the cameraman to get a shot of his gun, which subsequently leads to this moment.
Can you get a shot of this gun?
Out of it.
In an instant, with cameras rolling, Dryden fires a shot directly into the chest of Harry Collinson, and then fires another at the crowd standing before him, leading to things devolving into a chaotic scene of running and screaming.
As more shots were fired from a pistol, the camera crew and Look North reporter Tony Belmont ran for cover.
We were standing watching what was going on, and then a shot rang out at the chief planner, fell to the ground, and I felt a shot in the arm, and I've clearly been shot here in the arm.
As the camera crew finally gets to a safe distance and catches their breath,
he's pretty
it's
chill from somebody who's being shot.
Journalist for the BBC had been struck in the arm, along with one of the officers. Though in the midst of all this carnage, we see no sign of Harry Collinson, as by this point, he was likely still on the ground where he had originally fallen,
he died,
dead from his gunshot wound, with his final words being,
"Can you get a shot of this gun?"
Out of it.
He manifested it.
Following the incident, police would engage in a standoff with Dryden.
He said, "Can I get a shot of this gun?" And the dude thought, "Oh, yeah, sure, Pam." But he meant the cameraman. Can you, film the gun? So it was all a big misunderstanding. Words are funny sometimes.
Who claimed that he had set up booby traps and landmines, along with other explosives on the property, though this would turn out to be a bluff, and eventually he would be grabbed by officers and taken into custody, where he would subsequently be tried and sentenced to life in prison. And despite his actions on that day, Albert Dryden would go on to become somewhat of a national hero, growing a legitimate fan base for the way he stood up against the government. Dryden would live out his time in prison until 2017 when he suffered a massive stroke, to which he was let out on a compassionate release, with the man eventually passing away just 1 year later. Though his actions that day will forever be immortalized as one of the most notorious and darkest moments in television history.
Sheesh. 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 I mean, again, I'm part of fuck the government, okay? You cannot just shoot him down, bruh. He was just outside of your fence. You cannot just shoot people. That was not even like, he didn't even enter. Even if he did enter, it still would be dumb to shoot him. But he was just standing out there. Fucking hell. This is insane. I mean, I guess he didn't take him seriously. He was like, he's not gonna shoot me. But I saw. You saw it too. I saw in this man's face that he wanted to shoot. He was searching for an excuse. And when that dude was like, I need a shot of this gun, he was like, okay, this is my moment to shine. Pew pew. Hell. You have to always take a gun seriously. Well, he probably wanted to look cool. It was on camera. He didn't want to be like, oh. You know, I mean, he should have been like that, but... This is crazy. Okay, guys, I have to say I kind of like these videos. Not in a, I like it, but in a, this actually is creepy for me. This is kind of the effect I wanted for today's reaction stream, okay? I want it to be like, ugh. So I think we will actually continue with the darkest moments in TV history because there are multiple parts. What do you say? Or are you not up for it? Do you want us to watch something else? Your Honor, yeah. He asked me to shoot. Yes, technically he did. Technically, yes. 9 out of 10 bourbon. I didn't even realize I made it. So gassy. I ate a lot of cake, Jar Jar. Don't. You cannot comment on that. I'm a lady. Fucking Jar Jar. That's why you get no bitches. Okay, guys. Let's watch one more. They're kind of shortish. Okay, this is 140 minutes, but still. I'll check out what you sent me, Radio. Maybe for another react stream. I mean, I will stream on Sunday again, and I will probably do another reaction stream because I'm still at Tango's stupid setup. So next stream after this one will be Sunday, and the one after that will be Tuesday. So the one on Tuesday, I'm back in my old setup, which means I will be able to play games again. Okay? Lots of offers, lots of options, lots of different games I want to play. But I think today and Sunday I will do react. So yeah, please don't. It will fuck you up. Oh, okay. I don't want to be fucked up. I'm already kind of fucked up. But I'm a sweet soul. These things are terrifying for me. Hey Diaz, I finished Hollow Knight. Nice! Congrats! Did you do the Pantheon 5 too? Are you gonna play Silksong now? I have to play more Silksong too. I want to play Silksong. I want to play Silent Hill F. I want to finish the game we played 2 days ago with Lighthouse. I want to play Little Nightmares. So these are just a few games I really want to play. So really excited for that. No Pantheon, but yes, Silksong. Hey, honestly, fuck Pantheon 5. Don't do it. I only did it because I'm a streamer. And I didn't want to disappoint. But if I would be playing like on myself, personally, privately, I would never do that. Hi, Adam! Thank you for joining. I'm at 39.4 out of 100 of the shrimp posture. No. Why would you do that, Marjun? Why would you make me be discomforted? I like my shrimp position, please. I did it because I love torture. Oh, Fernandly. So kinky. I cannot relate, though. I kind of hate torture. Okay. Yeah, well, there are a few gray areas, but the kind of Pantheon 5 torture, not my kind of torture. So, let's continue with more dark moments in TV history. Are you guys ready? I'm scared. Am I your only fan who's Spanish? No, I think there are quite a few Spanish people in here. Tina for sure, but not just Tina. A lot of people think I'm Spanish, and I think they follow because of that, because my name is Diaz. But I'm not Spanish at all. What kind of torture are you into? The good kind? The... Well, let's continue. Disclaimer, the following video contains videos and stories that some may find... What? I couldn't read it! I couldn't read it! Well, it's probably fine.
January 11th, 2001. Famed Brazilian actress, model, and singer Xuxa lands her prop spaceship on the stage of a Brazilian TV set and begins her show the way she always does. The program, titled Xuxa Park, was a hit for the Ready Global Network, targeting a demographic of young children with its over-the-top dance numbers, fun games, and immersive futuristic sets. Premiering back in the summer of '94, Xuxa Park had shown little signs of slowing down by the turn of the century and seemed poised for a long, impressive run, barring any unforeseen disaster. On this particular day, 300 children were in attendance to watch or participate in the show's activities. Xuxa's infectious energy led the way from segment to segment as they played games, showed cartoons, and of course sang their songs.
I'm scared, guys.
And by the end of the episode, the crew had all gathered on stage to perform one last musical number, to end things off with a bang.
With a bang?
And evidently, that's exactly what would happen.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Oh my god. Oh. The hydration. Hi, Long. Thank you for the hydration. You scared me. I was expecting a bang and I heard like... Thank you. Something horrible is gonna happen. I think so too. Is this actually based off a real story? Yes, all of those are. These are all real TV moments. That's what makes them so fucking creepy.
This frame was taken just over 1 minute later, revealing all that remained of the set, as within that impossibly short window of time, the once bright and inviting scenery was turned to a pitch-black, unrecognizable hellscape, barely comprehensible to the camera that was also just mere moments away from being swallowed by the flames, but not before it would capture the carnage firsthand.
What is that? Fire! This is fire! Oh shit! It light up on fire! So fast! Shit! Did you see how fast that burned down? The video quality being so shitty is even more scary.
The spaceship which Xuxa had rode in on and was moments away from re-entering to leave the set would catch fire, all while the dancers continued their performance, unaware of the emerging danger behind them. A member of the staff quickly enters the frame in an attempt to extinguish the flames, but it was already too late, as just a few seconds after the spark, the entire ship was engulfed by the blaze.
Thank God she was not inside the ship, because that's what was her gig. I think she arrived leaving the ship, and at the end of the show she would go in it again. But they were still outside, right? I hope nobody got hurt by that. He didn't say anything yet, but dude.
Causing a mass panic on the set. Worst of all, directly next to the fiery ship, and just barely out of view of the camera, was the show's signature Ferris wheel, which kids would ride during the program, including during this very moment.
No.
As the fire raged, one boy was trapped in his seat, helpless to the danger unfolding around him. And noticing this, a group of brave people on scene began desperately trying to free him, which can just barely be seen on the left-hand side of the screen. Thankfully, their attempts proved successful, as he was eventually freed from his seat and carried to safety.
Good.
The fire was later determined to have started by an electrical short circuit, and the set would soon be completely turned to ash and rubble. But as for the nearly 300 children and numerous staff on scene, despite multiple injuries, everyone had somehow managed to escape the building
Thank
with
God.
their lives, with the only reported fatality being the show itself, as this would be the last episode ever filmed, with Shusha Park being swiftly cancelled. Thankfully, this moment saw all parties involved survive the ordeal, a rarity in the world of disturbing television moments, though it does highlight just how quickly things can go downhill when the cameras are rolling, and when these dark moments ultimately happen, all we can really do is watch.
But this one was actually nice. I mean, it was, thank God nobody died, right? This could have gone really bad, especially for the little kid in the carousel thing, in the Ferris wheel. Whew. Okay, this is a good start, right? This is okay. This is good.
Turn this video into a horror movie.
No water right now. Your 3-year-old daughter is what?
De aquel suicidio que mencionamos al principio.
If there's one lesson you can learn from my channel, it's that the internet can be a dark and unforgiving.
This is an ad, right? Yeah, no ads, please. I don't want any ads, thank you.
Nick Crowley to get a 14-day free trial and see if your personal information has been leaked online.
We're good. Chapter 1. Wait, you mean chapter 2, right? Buried. Oh, this already sounds really bad. Being buried alive. Oof.
There are very few manners of death that strike fear among us as much as the horrifying prospect of being buried alive.
I was just
the
about
dark,
to say.
claustrophobic nature of it, slowly losing oxygen with not a thing in the world you can do to stop it. It just strikes a chilling chord with so many. However, with this fear arose a unique opportunity for those looking to make a spectacle. Rather than running from this mortal fear, a select few magicians and daredevils have tried their hand at the challenge of being buried alive, by not just surviving, but escaping.
Idiots!
The trick was popularized by arguably the greatest magician of all time, Harry Houdini, who tried his hand at the stunt on
I think I know about Harry Houdini. Isn't that the dude that died in the water tank?
few separate occasions, the first of which would see him narrowly escape a casket buried under 6 feet of dirt by breaking through the surface with his fist, only to fall unconscious before he could complete the trick, with his stunt almost ending in his death. From there, he would be buried again on 2 separate occasions, surviving both for well over an hour, but never being able to fully pull himself out, and in turn pull off the seemingly impossible. Houdini did have plans to give it one more try in 1927, when he believed the stunt would finally be completed, but sadly he would pass away before getting the opportunity. Because of this, the trick is acted as somewhat of a magnum opus for any magician able to pull off the feat, a feat that even the great Houdini himself couldn't accomplish. And so, on the 66th anniversary of his death, American escape artist Bill Shirk would honor the late magician by attempting to do just that. For the stunt, Shirk would add extra elements of flair, upping the danger by being handcuffed.
Upper the danger. Extra elements of flair. No, for real, this is tragic. Somebody's gonna die, right? And it's tragic. But like in this scenario, I'm like, dude, you literally put yourself in that situation. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Is it like the cake? Are they like really searching for that cake? Is it the publicity that comes with, you know, doing scary things like that? Is it worth it? That's the question. And like, how am I'm still feeling bad for you. And of course, it's always sad when somebody dies. But like, if the little boy in the last clip got burned alive, I could not compare it to that because Dude, why would you put yourself in that situation in the first place? You retard. Idiot. Stupid fuck. The fuck? Okay, let's watch it. We know how it's gonna end, but let's watch it.
And having cement poured over top of the casket as opposed to just dirt. And he planned on doing it all with a TV crew on hand. However, from the get-go, things seemed to be off with the performance, as Shirk expressed concern over the grave being dug too wide and too long, thus changing the dynamics of his escape.
If I make this, I got a bad feeling about this thing.
Then don't do it! Nobody's forcing you. Like, literally. It's all in your head, bro. All in your head. You need therapy, right? Maybe a wife and kids, something to give your life some purpose. So you just don't throw it around like that, okay? But you're probably dead, so I'm probably talking to a dead person right now. Not really productive on my side.
At one point, when the first layer of dirt was being applied, Shirk would use his walkie-talkie to tell his team to call off the whole ordeal and to pull him up from the ground, seemingly in a moment of clarity. But everything was already in motion. This was his big moment with everyone watching. He couldn't afford to fail. Besides, he had been buried alive before, setting a record back in 1977 by spending a total of 79 hours beneath the surface of the Earth. He was no stranger to this, and not wanting to let his fans down, Bill Shirk would change his mind and continue the stunt by giving his team the green light to begin pouring the cement. And as that concrete began to settle and harden over top of the casket, things take a very grim turn.
Decides to go ahead. I think we gotta go. Tons of concrete are poured. Suddenly, the concrete sinks. The coffin has been crushed.
Oh, he got crushed by the cement. He didn't even wait. He didn't even like suffocate. He got crushed. Shut up.
Immediately, the level of liquid concrete dips dramatically, and large bubbles appear on the surface accompanied by a massive splashing noise. Signs that point to only one real possibility, that the weight of the concrete and dirt had caused the coffin to cave in, with those very same materials instantly filling in any available space inside the coffin, and in turn, suffocating Shirk. The rescue effort was underway almost instantly, but still, it felt like it was all moving in slow motion. And most assumed right away that if the weight of the concrete alone had not killed him, then the lack of oxygen certainly would.
A backhoe digs, and crucial moments pass. Shirk cannot be found.
Oh, what?
However, this thankfully wouldn't be the case. Incredibly, Shirk managed to claw his way. The team was able to pull him to safety and rush him into an awaiting ambulance. And though his condition appeared severe, he was alive and had somehow cheated death.
Thank God he
what?
Spent a life on this one, and it'll be a while before I'll do one of these. I'll tell you that.
Despite claiming to be done with his stunt for a while, Shirk would be back to attempting his death-defying stunts soon after, with some ending in similar results.
After Shirk climbs in the casket,
dude, at this point, this dude just wants to die. It's like he has a death wish. He went down under earth again. Like, that experience, I thought, would kind of like shake him. Change his mindset. Maybe make him touch some grass. But he was like, nope. I need to die for real. I need to.
Snake goes in first, but there's a problem, and Shirk has to get help.
What the fuck?
But although Bill Shirk was able to escape this trick with his life, not everyone has been so lucky. 2 years prior to Shirk's run-in with death, another performer known as the Amazing Joe had attempted the same stunt at an amusement park, also going the route of having dirt and wet cement poured over his plastic and glass coffin.
Plastic and glass coffin? Are you retarded? Plastic and glass? Nobody there, nobody felt the obligation to tell you that's not gonna hold, buddy. Glass and plastic? These are no friends. These are your secret haters. They let him go down there in a little... That looked like if you like buy food in Japan, vegetables or shit, they're always in like plastic containers and shit. That's how this looked like. Who let him go down there? Why?
This was Joe's attempt at becoming a master escape artist and forever etching himself into the history books of this particular niche. In fact,
I heard that. Stop saying the hard R word. You mean retarded? You mean retardo? Retarded? Retarded. No, not gonna do it.
he had already done what Houdini couldn't, as years prior he had escaped from a wooden coffin covered in 6 feet of dirt. But this attempt was clearly much more extreme, and with it should have come an immense amount of planning, not only by Joe himself, but the team around him. However, according to reports, the coffin used was never actually tested to see if it could withstand such a great amount of weight, and also he never tested the weight of the cement itself and the speed in which it would harden. Joe was quite literally going into this blind, and his confidence was apparent, as the cherry on top of this poor planning was the fact that no rescue procedure was in place should the stunt go horribly wrong. And unsurprisingly, well, that's exactly what would happen.
It was a cold night anyway, and when it sunk, I just knew trouble.
Wait, you consider yourself retarded because you have autism? That's retarded.
We're in trouble. It's not fun anymore.
Much like the footage from Bill Shirk's attempted escape, the level of cement and dirt suddenly dips, only this time in a much more dramatic fashion, with the
because it was
being
made
so
out of
brutal
glass
that
and
I'm
plastic.
not sure I'll even be allowed to show it on YouTube. According to many onlookers there, the coffin being destroyed by that immense weight caused a massive crashing noise, followed by immense panic from those trying to rescue Joe. But without a proper plan, the situation quickly grew helpless. Entrapped beneath that dirt, surrounded by cheering fans, his parents, and a TV camera,
his
the
parents
amazing
were
Joe
there.
would lose his life, ironically within a coffin buried 6 feet under.
His parents were there. You made your parents go through that? Shame on you! No, for real, shame on you! You don't respect your life, okay? But your mama, she made you! How dare you? This was stupid. This was hella stupid. All of them, all of these magicians, dumb. Idiots. I can't. Chapter 2. At some point, you kind of deserve it if you won't protect your own life. It's not just about protection, he literally put himself out there. Literally. Okay. I kind of have to pee, guys. But I don't want to do a breaky break yet, so just hang on a second. I will run to pee. In this house, the toilet is upstairs. So I will be fast, but I don't know how fast, okay? Just wait a second. I'm running. Damn, I'm fast. I'm hella fast. Nobody's as fast as I am. Fast. Damn. Oh, wait. Oh. I made it. What? I just peed, radio. Thank you, I guess. Okay. There you go. Okay. What the fuck, Marjorie? You have a pissed face. Don't call my hands dirty. I washed them. I always do. Okay. Did you wash your hands? I'm insulted by that question, guys. I have never not washed my hands after peeing. I somehow even manage it when I'm like outside peeing, you know, camping and stuff. I still try to wash my hands. No fucking way you wash. Tango, come here. Come here. Come here!
What is it?
You have to confirm that I washed my hands.
Wait. If I touch them and they're like not washed.
Don't touch them, smell them!
That's even worse!
They smell like soap, what are you saying?
What if they don't?
They're wet. They're clearly washed.
Well, how am I supposed to know what kind of water
Do you think I would piss on my hands?
Nasty freak.
Tango, smell my hand now. No! Tell them.
Smells kind of like nothing.
It smells like the soap. You have a soap bar. It's not. It doesn't smell like Tango.
It smells like a soap bar, yes.
Get the fuck out of this room. Get the fuck out of this room! I fucking hate you guys. No, for real. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. You disrespectful little pieces of shit. All of you. Shit! Retarded and shit! Aku! Ain't no way you only made 12 minutes and 3 hours. Aku, this is the third video I'm clicking. How insulting! I hate all of you. I hate you. No! Motherfuckers. Okay, shut up now. I don't want to hear anything coming out of your nasty mouths. Typing with your ugly fingers. Stop! Okay, we're continuing now. No, stop typing. Motherfuckers. Okay, chapter 2. Radio, you better be real careful. If I'm gonna see you soon, you should be scared. You should be scared. Yes, I come across shy the first time you meet me, but the more you get to know me, the more capable I am to actually physically hurt you. Yeah? Not in a hard way, not in the way you dream of, because I know you do. In a way that actually hurts! Okay? I'll kick you in the balls. I'll play some soccer with them. Okay? Be real careful now. Real careful. All of you. Okay. I'm ignoring you. Chapter 2. Hi, thank you for joining. Welcome.
La hija de Emilio y Maritza.
Sporting events are no stranger to disturbing TV moments, from hockey players having their throats cut open.
Oh shit, yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that.
To a football player suffering cardiac arrest right there on the field.
They have been administering CPR through these past 2 breaks that we've taken.
It's unfortunately always a risk in practically any televised sport out there.
And
although there's always a lingering chance that at any moment things could go terribly wrong, that risk mainly pertains to the players actually participating in the sport, and you likely wouldn't imagine fans being in any sort of danger as they sit by watching the game. Though sadly it does happen from time to time, with perhaps the most notable example being the story of Shannon Stone. Shannon was a 39-year-old firefighter who, on the 7th of July 2011, took his son Cooper to watch a Texas Rangers game in Arlington. This was the perfect bonding opportunity for the duo, and an even better opportunity to catch fly balls, as their seats left them in prime position to take home an unforgettable souvenir. The two would even stop at a sporting store beforehand, where Shannon would buy his son a baseball glove to use in the event that a loose ball came flying their way. And as the game reached the top of the second inning, their moment had finally arrived.
Oh shit, what's gonna happen?
When I look at who the A's are facing.
A foul ball was hit in their general direction, being quickly recovered by Rangers outfielder Josh Hamilton. And rather than returning the ball to the dugout or the field itself, Hamilton decided to make Cooper's day, recognizing the young fan in the stands and subsequently tossing the ball to Shannon. As this was all transpiring, the game continued with the pitcher preparing for his next throw, before suddenly you can hear the sound of something strange.
I want them to be great in their last exactly. I would rather have that than have it like Holland where he gets knocked out.
It almost seemed like yelling, which was followed by some sort of strong reaction from the crowd,
What is happening?
which in turn led to an immediate stoppage of play, as the announcers were left trying to figure out what exactly was happening, until they finally received word on the unfolding situation.
He's got a lot of energy built up. I think somebody fell out of the stands in left field trying to field a baseball guy.
No, wait,
Well,
what?
This is it.
No.
That's why there was time.
Shh. He fell down. How high was it?
Take it.
How deep did he fall?
The man in this footage was in fact Shannon Stone, and as Josh Hamilton had gone to toss the ball up to him, the throw fell just a bit short, causing the 39-year-old father to extend past the railing before losing his balance.
Oh, no.
And despite the seemingly playful nature of the announcers at the time,
You were right, Ray. Somebody did tumble.
this fall was no laughing matter, as below that railing stood a 20-foot fall directly onto a concrete floor.
What is 20 foot in meters? 20 foot in meters? How much is 20 foot? I don't speak American. 20 foot? 4 meters. 6 meters. 6 meters. That is high up. That is high up. And he was going head first.
Which Shannon would strike head first. As he laid there on the ground, barely able to move, the man was miraculously still conscious, finding the strength to tell the rescue team carrying him out, "Please check on my son. My son was up there all by himself."
Oh my god.
Based on this reaction, it was clear that Stone was obviously alive and had clear brain function, making his initial prognosis on the scene somewhat promising. But before he would even reach a nearby hospital, Shannon Stone would be pronounced dead. According to many medical professionals, this immediate showing of brain function was more or less a fluke occurrence, and something they call a lucid interval, which is a window of conscious clarity after a traumatic injury, essentially meaning that although his ability to move and speak seemed to be a positive indicator, it was instead a sign that the injuries his brain had suffered were going to be fatal. In the years since, Shannon Stone's memory lives on with a statue being made in his honor in that very stadium where his life came to an end, forever immortalizing someone who, by all accounts, was a great man and an even better father.
Damn, his son was there too. His son saw him falling down there. His son knew that he wanted to grab the ball for him. Dude. And even though he was basically dead, he still managed to say, "Take care of my son, he's up there alone." Dude. And what is it with the firefighters? Why are firefighters going through so much? Even in their private, personal time. Yes, did you hear the baseball player who died? I don't think so. I didn't hear about any baseball player who died, no. Sheesh. My son is up there. Oh my god. That's sad. That is fucking sad. Dude. Okay. Let's keep going, guys. Terrifying! Chapter 3, what was that face? Chapter 3, the end of To Catch a Predator.
If you spent any considerable amount of time here on YouTube, then chances are you're at least somewhat familiar with the show To Catch a Predator. During its run on Dateline, the show was incredibly popular, with its host Chris Hansen being launched into stardom for his role exposing pedophiles on the internet.
You guys know that show?
Should have a seat over in that chair, please.
At the time, there was really nothing else like this on TV.
No, I think I even know exactly of the story. I don't know, just I know what's gonna happen. I think I know what's gonna. I think I've seen that one because I kind of was really enjoying people going after pedophiles. I think I know this one.
and was widely viewed as one of the most entertaining shows out there.
Not gonna spoil
which has
it.
caused it to find a second life here on YouTube, as re-uploads of its episodes have been viewed as many as 50 million plus times. To this day, the show remains immensely popular, and during its television run, the same was true, which led me to wonder how or why it was ever taken off the air. I mean, it was entertaining, popular, and with the internet exploding in recent years, the content would seemingly be endless. Yet somehow, this show only lasted 3 years. And that's when I realized that there's actually a very specific reason why To Catch a Predator was pulled from the air. And it's one of the darker TV stories I've ever heard. During the fall of 2007, Perverted Justice, the team that To Catch a Predator used to find their predators, had set up a decoy account on MySpace, posing as a 13-year-old boy. And before long, another user had taken the bait, reaching out to the fake child in the hopes of sparking an intimate relationship. According to the user's account, he was a 19-year-old college student that happened to live in the same area. However, upon doing some light digging, the Perverted Justice team discovered that the man was actually in his late 50s. His name was Louis Condratt, and although his behavior was similar to essentially all other predators in the show's run, sending explicit messages and pornographic images, despite knowing he was speaking to a child, Louis was different in one respect. It seems that Condratt was in a position of power, working as a chief felony assistant district attorney for Rockwall County. This was setting up to be To Catch a Predator's biggest catch to date, and exposing him would not only mean bringing him to justice, but also bringing in great ratings for the show. Though there was one major issue. Upon engaging the decoy for a few hours and even calling to speak to him.
Hello?
Hey, Will.
Hey, what are you doing?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Nothing.
No?
No, I was looking up to see how to get to where you are.
Hi, Splendid.
Still thinking about me?
Yeah, where's your right hand?
It's in my pocket.
In your pocket?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And what are you doing with your right hand in your pocket?
Louis stopped responding and seemed to recognize the grave error he was making and began deleting all content from his account. And as a few days passed, it was clear that Louis was not going to be visiting their sting house.
Something I wanted to say, in these older pedophile hunting down shows, the bait, they usually would pretend they are like a young girl or a young boy. They would be fine with actually trying to seduce the predator to make them actually show their true intentions. I don't know how it is in America, but in Germany, I'm actually following somebody who does something similar. He has like a fake account as like a 12-year-old girl, and he chats with predators, and then he sends all the files to the police. So basically, what he said and what I noticed is that he's not allowed to flirt with the predators. Because even if you pretend you're a 12-year-old girl, if you are like, where are your hands? Are they in your pocket? I don't know. Doing anything like asking for it, they still could manage to get off free. So he really tries to be as innocent as possible, to not even like, he has to wait for them to make the move, for them to be pushy and stuff. And that sometimes takes a while. But here in Germany, you have to do that, because if you make the first move, even if you are supposedly a 12-year-old and the other dude is like 60-year-old, it still is like he might win the case if you are coming onto him, which is crazy, right? I just noticed that because I'm watching so many videos from that dude, the German one, and it's always really exhausting because he has to chat with these people for many days till they finally open up and show their true colors, because he's not allowed to make any step in that direction. And here it was so quick. They clearly started flirting right away. It's not really like, if you actually want these motherfuckers in Germany at least to be like prosecuted, you really have to let them do every step. They have to be the ones pushing it totally on their own. You're not allowed to even like even being too nice is kind of like, you have to be really, really innocent, pretending to be really innocent, so they fuck up. And then he sends the stuff to the police, and I think a lot of, like, he has caught already 180 predators online, which is really cool. I love content like that. But yeah, that's why this is for me like speedrunning it.
which meant no program and no justice. However, the To Catch a Predator team was not gonna let this go easily, with the crew coming up with a plan that had never been done before in the history of the show. They were going to bring the program to Kondrat. And so on November 5th, Hansen and his crew would visit Kondrat's house with a group of officers and an arrest and search warrant. This would not be without controversy though, as the warrants supposedly contained wrong information like the wrong county and the wrong date, meaning that they would likely struggle to hold up in court and probably should have never been acted on. Despite this, the crew urged law enforcement to act anyway, rushing the ordeal to assure they got their guy.
This is also really dangerous. You can fuck up a case like that. The dude I'm watching, again, the German dude, before he did what he's doing now, he would actually meet up with the pedophiles. But he stopped doing that because he said he had it was often the case that him meeting up with the pedophiles would actually ruin an ongoing case that the police might be investigating, again with the same suspect, but for like a different reason. And he would ruin that case by actually meeting them and putting them in danger and stuff. So this is for content and entertainment, but if you actually want to catch these fuckers, you have to be really careful and know the law real good.
And so the police agreed, first calling Kondrat and then knocking on his door for multiple hours, though neither attempt saw any results. And growing impatient with the whole ordeal, they then called in the SWAT team to surround and eventually breach the house, which they would do around 3 p.m., barging into the home and surrounding Kondrat at gunpoint. As this was all happening, To Catch a Predator had their cameras trained on the outside of the home, awaiting the shot of Kondrat being ushered into a cop car and driven away, unaware that this time, things were going to end much differently. Inside, Kondrat would yell to the officers, "I'm not gonna hurt anybody," before brandishing his pistol, and rather than pointing it at the officers,
he
instead pointed it at himself.
The officers line up in formation and head to the back of the house. Then we hear a faint crack. The officers force their way in. For almost 5 minutes, we don't see or hear anything. Then Lieutenant Adana Barber of the Murphy Police Department comes out and tells us what happened.
As they made entry, they confronted the suspect. I believe he's in the hallway, and he told them he wasn't going to hurt them.
And he had a pistol in his hand.
This single gunshot would essentially mark the end of To Catch a Predator, as in the time following, NBC would be hit with a $105 million
and the end of the Predator
lawsuit from Kondrat's own sister. And though this lawsuit was settled privately with undisclosed conditions, the show was already on death's door, which was not helped by the national media dogpiling on To Catch a Predator, as well as perverted justice.
But now there are serious questions about what goes on behind the scenes.
Whose sting was this? The police departments or the vigilantes hired by Dateline?
You don't have the full transcripts?
I don't know. That's exactly part of my problem. The police department can't tell me whether or not I have the full transcripts.
Did your arresting officers, did they see the chats before they made the arrest?
In some cases, yes.
Did they see the entire chats?
Making it impossible, says District Attorney Roach, to mount a successful prosecution. Charges have been dropped against every single person arrested in the Murphy sting.
With these
What?
claims causing some to believe that the show was more interested in entertainment rather than justice, and whether that's true or not, To Catch a Predator would be cancelled, marking a tragic end to one of the strangest, yet most compelling TV shows ever to be broadcast, thanks solely to this grim moment.
This episode is a lot more tame than the last one. It's because we don't give a fuck about the Predator, right? Like, I'm not sad for the dude that killed himself. I'm actually sad for the show, though. Good show. Sad that it got cancelled. Maybe they were rushed with this. Maybe they should have prepared that better. Shame. Yeah, I don't have goosebumps. If anything, I feel kind of relieved. Like I took a shit. Yeah. I'm ready for the next one. Let's hope this one will shock me to my core. Or maybe not that deep, but a bit of goosebump would be nice. Come on. Chapter 4. Killers on TV.
As evident by the first batch of cases in this video, many of the darkest moments in TV history come from shocking accidents or overall disturbing events that play out for the cameras to see. However, there are a select few examples where television moments only really become dark long after they're aired and more context is given. For example, in our first installment of the series, we discussed Renard Spivey.
Ask him, he's been married for how long?
Over 27 years.
Over 27
Look at him though,
years.
he look mad.
He's like, bitch, should I kill you now? I will.
63-year-old Renard Spivey accused of killing his wife. 52-year-old Patricia
Are you
Spivey,
tired?
after an
I'm
argument that
good.
turned deadly.
The man who had murdered his wife years after making an appearance on television, with one joke at his expense during
Wait, we saw that already in the previous episode. You're not going to talk about it again, are you?
this time aging like milk. The concept of killers finding their way onto TV is one that I've recently become fascinated by, with the case always being brought up in tandem with this conversation being the dating game killer. In 1978, a man named Rodney Alcala had found his way onto the popular show The Dating Game.
He's a killer. He looks like a serial killer.
A date with
I could
Cheryl
tell.
Bradshaw above all other contestants. However, this date would never actually materialize, as upon meeting him away from the cameras, Cheryl found the man to be creepy and ultimately declined to speak with him any further. And as it turns out, that decision may have saved her life. During the time in which this episode was shot and aired, Rodney was in the midst of a massive killing spree, ending the lives of at least 8 people that we know of, though many claim his true number of victims is shockingly closer to 130, due to the fact that they had
And in between that time, he found the energy and time to go on a dating show? That's a multitasker right there.
found a stash of over 1,000 photographs detailing women, young boys, and men that Rodney had
Sheesh.
taken, many of which are believed to have been unidentified victims of him. And what makes this all the more chilling is the fact that Rodney had told the show that he was a photographer, and it was even mentioned during the program.
And let's see, Bachelor number 1 is a successful photographer who got his start when his father found him in the dark room at the age of 13.
He's a murderer too. I know they never
Given the
found
shocking
out, but
nature
I'm
of this
telling you.
case, it's really no wonder why it's become so popular, especially here on YouTube. But surprisingly, there are quite a few examples of killers finding their way onto our TV screens that have happened within the past decade alone. And one that even happened within just days of writing this script. One obscure example comes from the show Celebrity MasterChef, where in the background we can see an inconspicuous man serving food cooked by the contestants of the show. The man was one of a dozen unnamed chefs, just helping out typically out of view of the camera, but for this one split second, and likely to the recognition of no one, we see him. This man's name is Stephen Port, a 40-year-old living in South London, who has since come to be known as the Grindr Killer. Stephen is responsible for the deaths of 4 men he met on the Grindr app, all of whom he had lured to his flat and poisoned with fatal doses of GHB, before going on to violate and then dump their corpses. With these murders transpiring not long after this fleeting moment was broadcast for the world to see, making me wonder just how many other killers have appeared in glimpses on TV that have not yet been recognized. Maybe they were walking in a crowd or panned over at a sporting event.
I think about that often. Like when you walk around and there are like hundreds of people around you, how many of those people are like psychos? Right? It's crazy when you think about it. Or furries in their free time. Could be anyone. Something to think about.
Hiding in plain sight. But killers don't just get shown as background characters, or as one-off contestants for just a single episode. Sometimes they are permanently etched in the show's history. In the summer of 2020, Food Network began airing a season of Worst Cooks in America, one of their more popular shows, and this one was set to be a big one, as it marked the program's 20th season. The competition was all in good fun, with lots of humorous and memorable moments, leading to the eventual finale on the 2nd of July. And in that episode, the fan favorite Ariel Robinson would take home the crown as winner of the show, along with a grand prize of $25,000.
She looks like she's wearing a skin suit, not her own skin. I'd rather have only furries around than the other choice. I know you want to be sandwiched by furries, Marjune. I still love you. I told you that already.
However, if you were to look for this season today, let's say on demand, on streaming services, or even on TV, you would be left with no results, as its existence has been practically wiped from the face of the earth. And given what happened after the season ended, this comes as little surprise. Upon winning the competition, Ariel Robinson settled back into her normal life with her husband, Jerry. And after securing life-changing funds from the show, the couple made the admirable decision to foster a young girl named Victoria, whom they eventually decided to officially adopt in January of 2021. On the 6th of the month, just over a week before the adoption was set to be finalized, Ariel would take to Twitter to boast about her parenting, stating, "I'm a mama bear and I'll do anything to protect my children and make sure their futures are equally bright." A statement that seemed in line with her already stellar reputation as being a fun-loving, good person who dedicated her life to loving her kids. However, no one could have imagined the devastating turn this family was heading for. 5 days after Victoria's adoption, Ariel's husband, Jerry, would dial 911, stating,
"You have an emergency. Our daughter is unresponsive. She's drunk a lot of water. We're trying to pump CPR to get out. Our 3-year-old daughter is choking on water right now."
Your 3-year-old daughter is what?
Choking on water right now. We need help immediately.
Okay, we'll get help on the way.
This led to emergency responders rushing to the scene where
Choking
the young
on
girl was
water?
found
Is that what he said?
unresponsive on the floor of her bedroom and was soon after declared dead. Across her body were countless bruises which Ariel claimed to have been from their attempts at CPR. Though bizarrely, during the whole ordeal, her story would quickly change, as she soon began blaming her 7-year-old son, whom she stated had a history of anger issues, believing potentially he had killed her. Already, something very strange was happening with the situation, and it only became more bizarre when a forensic pathologist confirmed that Victoria had died not from choking, but from blunt force injuries and internal bleeding, essentially meaning that her death was no accident. This launched a full-scale investigation into the couple, where it would later be discovered that on the day before her death, Victoria had gotten sick at church, causing Ariel to undress her and make her walk out of the building in just her underwear, telling her, "Oh, you're cold. Girls that make themselves throw up deserve to be cold." This anger seemingly boiled over the next morning, where, ironically, Victoria was refusing to eat pancakes that Ariel had cooked, which led to Ariel grabbing her, dragging her up the stairs, and beating her with a paddle. According to Jerry, who was working in the backyard at the time, he could hear the beating from outside, claiming that it lasted almost an hour, though he did nothing to stop it. And as a result, Victoria began to bleed internally, and later would pass away due to the traumatic injuries she had suffered by the hands of her soon-to-be mother. When it was all said and done, Ariel Robinson was arrested and will now spend the rest of her life in prison, so soon after her triumphant win on Worst Cooks. Since the news initially broke on this, the entirety of Season 20 has been removed from the internet and has been wiped from the show's history. But for me, one of the most chilling moments in Ariel's history on television came soon after her victory, when a local news station would come to her home for an interview.
But now I truly am not the worst cook in America.
But she is the winner of Food Network's Worst Cooks in America Season 20.
Yes, I am putting mayo in a glove.
Ariel Robinson lives in Simpsonville.
Where inside, we see a sign proudly displayed by Ariel, touting her as the #1 mom. Soon after, this same local news station would become the leading reporters on her murder case. Despite this all transpiring within just a few years, this surprisingly is not even the most recent example of a killer being prominently featured on TV.
This fucking cunt. I knew that she was a demon. I called it. I was like, she's a skinwalker. She's wearing a skin, you could just tell. She's clearly, demon. I hear so many horror stories about foster parents. Horrifying. I'm like kind of, probably some of them are really good people. But I have distrust when I hear about foster parents. I've heard so many bad stories that I'm just like, you have to prove to me that you are not a psychopath. For real. Oh. Shit.
As news broke of this final example just days ago, in January of 2020, the widely popular show Family Feud featured the Bleefnick family, who would go on to win the episode and leave a few iconic moments in its wake. with the most relevant coming from this man, Timothy Bleefnick. During one of the segments, the question was posed, "What is your biggest mistake you made at your wedding?" To which Timothy responds with,
"Honey, I love you, but said I do." Not my mistake. Not my mistake. I love my wife.
What?
I'm gonna get in trouble for that, aren't I?
If you've seen the show before, you know that this type of humor is the norm, and jokes like this are made in virtually every single episode. But this one would later take on a much more sinister tone due to the events that unfolded not long after the show had ended.
Did he say his biggest mistake was saying I do? If that was my husband, I would be the killer on TV. Live. Me running up the stage, being like, you know, I would be in this documentary right now. Just saying, just dropping that.
Aired. Around a year after Timothy's moment in the limelight, he and his wife Rebecca would actually separate, not officially divorcing, but living in separate homes.
Good, Rebecca! You deserve better, Rebecca!
As it was recently revealed that Rebecca had filed for a restraining order against both Timothy as well as his father, a clear indication that she believed her life was in some sort of danger. Fast forward to February of 2023, and the two were finally making headway on finalizing an official divorce, before on the 23rd day of the month, gunshots rang out from Rebecca's home.
Police say 41-year-old Rebecca Bleefnick was found by a family member Thursday. Police say she had been shot multiple times.
When police arrived on scene, Rebecca was sadly no longer alive, and it wouldn't take long for investigators to turn their sights on Timothy. On March 13th, police would arrest the now 39-year-old in connection with his soon-to-be ex-wife's death, charging him with 2 counts of first-degree murder and blaming him for the shooting that took place at her home, with his mugshot showing him as completely unrecognizable to the man we saw on TV just years before.
He does look different.
The whole situation is incredibly disturbing, and what makes it even worse is just how beloved Timothy and his family were in their hometown. I mean, they literally had community watch parties to cheer on the family that can still be found here on YouTube.
Listen, there was so much fun. I'm so happy and appreciative of the support of the community, so thanks.
Making the events soon to come all the more tragic. And given everything that's happened since the show aired, and since Timothy said this iconic joke, I think it's very possible that there was at least some truth to his words.
Sheesh, but not that shocking, right? I think these murder thingies, the murders on TV, is more like, damn, you never know who's a murderer or not. But it's not that, you know. There were some more dark moments in these 2 clips, 2 videos. This is the last chapter, guys, of this video. My phone is about to die, so maybe I won't be moving soon. But, maybe my phone will hold on. Just to end this video. That would be nice, phone. Could you do that for me, please? Thank you. So, chapter 5, the Maritza Martin incident.
Our final entry takes us to the tragic passing of 15-year-old Joandra Martin back in November of 1992. The young girl had recently discovered that she was 13 weeks pregnant, much to the disappointment of her family, and subsequently ended her life as a result, which momentarily thrusted her parents, Maritza Martin and Emilio Nunez, into the public eye. The two had been separated since before she was even born, with Maritza gaining full custody, something that Emilio would later claim she had used to keep his daughter away from him, as the two supposedly spent very little time together. As a result, Nunez began publicly blaming Maritza for the death of their daughter, claiming that she and her new husband had been abusive towards her and had even struck her upon discovering she was pregnant. Making matters worse, Nunez would go on to allege that Maritza never even told him that their daughter had died and had only found out an hour before the funeral from a friend. Now, I want to stress that there is absolutely no information I could find to fully confirm any of what Nunez was claiming, and with many elements of Nunez's story, the jury is still out, though in his own mind, this truly seems to be what he believed. And this is where the dark side of television began to rear its ugly head. For whatever reason, the news station Ocorio Asi had decided to cover Emilio's allegations against Maritza, seemingly taking his word at face value and launching a full-scale story into the case. It started with Emilio being interviewed by a reporter from the station named Ingrid Cruz, which transpired in the vicinity of his daughter's grave. During the questioning, Ingrid would ask him things like, "What would you tell your daughter if she was still alive? And how did you feel when you saw your dead daughter in the casket?" Her questions were clearly crossing the line.
I'm a bit confused by that one. So what? The daughter, wasn't she pregnant when she killed herself? So wasn't the daughter in her tummy? I'm confused.
And things would only get worse from here, as while they were filming this segment, Maritza herself had arrived on location to Yuandra's final resting place.
Doña Maritza. Marisa, me daría una reacción para ocurrió así, por favor, sobre la muerte de su hija.
Translate!
Una reacción
Spanish-speaking people.
Upon her arrival, Nunez immediately removed himself from the situation, and Maritza was instead swarmed by crews who began bombarding her with questions, each of which were ignored, as she clearly was uncomfortable and didn't want to speak to the cameras, and was just trying to get to her daughter's grave.
Quiero saber por qué, la reacción, el por qué usted quiere esquivarnos a nosotros.
It's clear in the footage that tensions were rising by the second, as it seemed apparent that Cruz was clearly attempting to provoke her into any sort of reaction. Until suddenly, the unthinkable happened.
What?
Su hija tomó esa decisión de quitarse
What's
la
going
vida.
on?
Usted no tiene nada que decir.
In a split second, and out of absolutely nowhere, we see Nunez charge back into frame, as though he initially appeared to be doing the responsible thing by walking away from the conflict. He had instead actually returned to his car, with the sole purpose of retrieving his pistol.
Shit! The daughter killed herself. The dad and mom separated long before, and the dad never saw her and blamed the mom. Oh, so the dead daughter is the daughter that killed herself. This is about their parents. Okay. Dude, he grabbed the gun. Not good.
Which he would then use to shoot Maritza over and over and over again, all while the camera was still rolling.
Just shot a woman, possibly coming after us. He's psychotic, man. Where am I? What funeral home am I at?
¿Cómo se llama esto?
Where am I at? Somebody shot.
Chase.
Maritza would be shot a total of 12 times.
12!
And in turn, her life would...
Wait, was he so angry because he kind of felt like the mom pushed the daughter to kill herself? That's where I get the anger, but still, shooting her 12 times, bro.
come to an end, as Nunez stood over her yelling, "I should have done this a long time ago." When the smoke cleared, Nunez would be arrested and sentenced to life with a possibility of parole in 25 years. And what's most frustrating is just how avoidable this really seemed to be. Maritza herself had actually requested a restraining order against Nunez not long before her murder, but was surprisingly denied, as police stated that it would only anger him more. With this happening despite the fact that police were already well aware of Nunez's violent temper, as authorities were literally called on scene for Yuandra's funeral, as Nunez had threatened to kill other members of the family. He was obviously a very troubled man, who following the loss of his daughter, needed help more than anything. Yet even after all this one news station decided to not only platform him, but to provoke him, right before the two had crossed paths, leaving us with one of the darkest moments to ever transpire in the history of television.
Okay, so he said her and her new husband had abused her, but there was no evidence. That's the thing. Since we don't know, it seems crazy that he shot her 12 times. But if he knew something we don't, and they actually did something really bad to the daughter, then I can kind of get behind it. I mean, 12 times was a bit much, bro. She probably needed one, if you can aim. But it depends. Again, like how I feel about this. It depends on what's the truth. If there was no evidence and he was just, you know, trying to blame someone, because that's something that people do. They're trying to find blame. So I can see like the theory that he didn't have any evidence. He just thought somebody has to be responsible for her killing herself. It's probably you and your stupid new husband that is so much better looking than me and earns so much more money. So fuck you. Like, I see that, but I can also see, like, who knows? Maybe the daughter told him something. Maybe she left him something, or he found out something like real bad. Yeah, but sheesh, 12 times. Crazy. But the video's over. Tango, I want to go to stream after, please. Ideas, what's this game about? I missed the start of the stream. This is not a game, Neil. We were watching documentaries. Dark, scary documentaries. Yeah. He probably didn't know for sure either. I mean, that's the thing. Did he not? We don't know. If he did not, then that was probably not good. But maybe he knew something that he had no evidence for. You know, maybe he saw something. There's no evidence if you see something. But maybe it was just like, I saw it. She told me sometime, you know. But this was interesting. I think I like the darkest TV moments more than the deep ocean ones. Just because they were so educational. And so many places I've never heard of. Like Waki Maki and Tokomoko. No, the dead people were in the TV darkest moments. That's why I enjoyed it. No, that's not why I enjoyed it. But that made it a bit more, you know, goosebumpy. Thank you for the follow, Crow Mauler! Thank you, thank you. With those videos, I start to wonder, would I treat my family well if I had one? If others can do bad, so might I. Well, I think you would treat your family wonderfully, Moritz. I believe that. There are sick people out there, but I like to believe it's none of you guys, okay? You're sick otherwise. You have sick hobbies. You like sick things. But you're not really sick people, right? I like to believe that. We're not that crazy. Yeah. I think we would do good. As family, parents. Right? Right? Do you speak any other languages? Well, Jinwoo, I speak German and Greek. And that's it. And the English you are hearing right now, which is not the best, but yeah. When are workouts coming back? Really, Tal? That's what you care about? Workouts are coming back next week. Okay. Fun stream. You liked it, Kai-K? Nice. I also had way more fun than I thought I would. It was cool. Sometimes really scary. Sometimes it was kind of like, oh. But it was entertaining. It was entertaining. I paint horrors, but I'm actually a cupcake. Clearly not radio. Clearly, the content you watch kind of tells about what you are, right? And you thought some of that was baby shit. So, yeah. You're a rotten cupcake, if anything. Save up your points. Ah, cool. For real, if I come back next week and you hit me with workouts, I have to do some restrictions. I told Tengu. I think it will be, I will add more workout options, but I will do so that people cannot, you know, can like do one workout each stream, right? Because the more you are, the more workout I have to do, and I'm not here for it. Not here for it. I draw until 5 a.m. I speak Spanish and English. Nice, Sean. I'm really excited to see your drawing. Hallo, kannst du das lesen? Ja, kann ich. Ich habe Augen im Kopf. Ich kann lesen. Korrekt. Oh, I think my phone is dying. It is actually dying. Perfect timing, though. Perfect timing. Hi, Gabriel. Thank you for joining. One each stream? This is ridiculous. It's not. It's one squat, one push-up, pull-up, one knee-up, one crunches each. That's a lot. Okay, well, my phone just died, so that's why I'm not moving anymore. That's why I'm not. No, I'm not doing any squats, Fairy Night Lily. I have squats free time now. Next week again. Okay. Tuesday you can torture me, guys. Next stream. No wait. Next stream is on Sunday. which means in 2 days. We will react probably to something again. Marjun recommended a game that's apparently not that, you know, straining on Tengu's computer, so maybe I'll try that. But it will probably be a reaction stream again. And then the stream after that will be on Tuesday. And that stream will be with my old setup, my good setup. We will have the redeems. We will play something nice. It will be hella cool. It's so weird seeing me move, but not move. Like, I'm still, like, breathing. Why is my mod, like, going up and down? That's terrifying. Well, guys, that's gonna be it for this day. I hope you had fun. I definitely had. Thank you all so much for joining. Take care of yourselves, my sweet, sweet minions. This is